Take notes. Take notes.
Good evening and welcome to 12 Pack. Happy Hump Day and happy International Women's Day. You're watching 12 Pack right here in Dallas Fort Worth, and I am your hostess, Queen Petty. Thank you so much for tuning in. Olivia, you gave me that look. What's wrong?
Nothing.
No.
I just need you to speak a little bit more into the mic.
Okay. See, I'm the one that's not being professional
No,
tonight.
Your mic is just angled downward a little bit.
Okay. We're good now?
Perfect.
Perfect. All right, so let's get down to it because we got a lot of show to go, and I know we're running a little bit behind. We want to catch back up. If you are live with us on Facebook, let us know so that way I can give you a special shout out. But for now, while we get you guys online, let's go around the table and introduce this panel. We've got a new face tonight. Going to get him introduced, but first I want to go to our princess in the corner over there.
Oh, you the princess tonight.
Tonight I feel like he's going to be the princess.
It's International Women's Day.
Yeah, it's International Women's Day.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the stat assassin himself, Teabag. How you doing?
Wonderful.
Wonderful?
Wonderful.
Yeah?
Yep. I don't really have anything right now, so
No?
I'm warming up. I'm recovering from a nap and having to drive John's
got a
ass
nap
over here.
today?
I had to take a nap. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Work's been kicking my ass, so
Yeah, you got a little bit of beauty sleep in there.
I wouldn't say beauty
Not
sleep.
enough.
Not enough.
It's a work in progress.
All right. Let's go to the other side of me over here to the right. He is my ride or die, my one and only. Hi, Big John.
What's up?
Haven't seen you all day. What's up?
Nothing, chilling.
Yeah? Did you
Yeah.
have a good day?
I did.
Good. You ready to kick this off?
I am. I'm always ready.
All right.
Do
Cool.
it.
We have a special guest tonight. He is a fan of the show and a friend of ours. His name is Nick. How are you? Welcome in.
Good, thank you.
You excited?
I am.
Ready to?
I try to figure out. I know we talk a lot. You know, we hang out at the bar, and I was like, y'all really wanted me to come on? All right.
We're ready
Let's
for
do
it.
this.
We are ready for it. Definitely ready for it. Over on the ones and twos, ladies and gentlemen, the best tech alive so far.
So
Miss
far.
Call me Lil Olive now. That's my new name.
Lil Olive.
Olive, yes.
I love it. Is that like your
That's my
street
new
name?
Engineering name. That's what I'm going by.
Okay. Little Olive, welcome to the show. How you doing? Did you miss us?
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
So I can talk shit, you know.
Yes, please.
On Trevor.
Yes.
Yes, we're going to need you to make sure to fact check him tonight. I feel like we're going to have a couple slip ups. I don't know. So I want to shout out Linda's on. Welcome, Linda. Okay, so before we get started, got to do a few disclaimers for HR. If you are watching this with kids or on a speakerphone, on speaker, or
Don't watch it at work on speaker.
Don't watch it on speaker because Trevor's gonna drop a few F-bombs, I'm sure, tonight. Princess over here, he's gonna drop a few F-bombs. It is okay to drop some F-bombs. We have
Me?
clearance from HR, okay?
Nah, not me.
Definitely get us in the chat line. Miss Cat is on.
Yeah, I see.
Sis
My
is
sis is
on.
on. Yeah,
Sis
what's up,
is
sis? What's
on.
up?
She said, I'm on Facebook. Hey, fam. Definitely you can watch us right here on Facebook and on YouTube. Please go to our YouTube channel. It is at 12Pack Media 14. Oh, sorry, not the at. Not the at. Don't do the at.
12-pack media 14.
Okay. Thank you. And then definitely hit that subscribe button. We're trying to build up our subscriptions on YouTube. So let's just get right into it. John, I'm gonna flip it over to you.
I don't know how your videos work though.
Okay. So Kendrick Perkins
I don't know what you got
went on First Take with JJ Redick and Stephen A. And of course, that show is always kind of iffy with their controversy. They kind of say some things that are just kind of out there sometimes. And so we actually had an episode the last couple of days where Kendrick Perkins made an implication that has caused a stir in the NBA. And so the first video that we're going to watch is about 4 minutes long. It's talking about what actually brought up the subject and then the actual implication. And then the second video we're going to talk about is the actual reaction from JJ Redick and Kendrick Perkins. So, Miss Olivia, can you play that first video for me?
Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray led Denver's comeback win over the Raptors. Jokic almost had another triple-double, finishing with 17 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 assist shy of that triple-double. Winners in 8 of their last 9. Denver improved to 46-19 on the year, 30-4 at home. Let's flash back to Perk and JJ on Jokic.
Well, don't come giving me this stuff about a triple-double. I don't want to hear that. Since you're scared to say it, I'm going to say it. I'm watching Jokic pass the ball, and I'm watching his guys catch and shoot. No hesitation, good or bad shot, and players know what their stats are.
I'm just trying to think of a country phrase that is equivalent to Perk being a hater.
Are you sitting here and saying that the reigning two-time league MVP is having his numbers padded?
You heard what the hell I said.
Love Perk. I strongly disagree with this.
Your best player on the floor has 8 games where he has single-digit shot attempts. Make that make sense to me.
Nikola Jokic does not care about stats, does not care about averaging a triple-double. Nikola Jokic, I hate to tell everyone, doesn't care about winning an MVP.
And I want to tell the Denver fans, I am not associated with Kendrick Perkins' pace.
If you ask anyone that's been around him, he doesn't fight the game. He just makes the right play every time. He cares about winning a championship.
Guys know if they're 3 points away from having 50, if they're 2 assists away from having a triple-double. He starts searching for them assists.
The best argument I can make of why this is such a ludicrous statement, they're 23-0 when he has a triple-double. Let's not make up a narrative about a player that is just so unbased in reality.
You know what? We're like the UFC. We give you the debates that you want here. But in all seriousness, we're all teammates, but this is a debate show. So, JJ, let's continue it. You're up first.
I'm going to go ahead and apologize to Perk because I know that he doesn't like advanced stats, but often advanced stats inform us. They provide insight. They often reinforce what we see. So they kind of complement the eye test. I know you're an eye test guy and you don't like advanced stats, but I might use a few here. I just want to react because I didn't hear this. The idea that his teammates shoot good or bad shots. So Second Spectrum, wonderful company, they installed tracking cameras in every arena 10 years ago. And their technology has evolved. And one thing we've learned from that is we can actually track which players create. And Nikola Jokic is top 5 in shot quality created. So if you watch them play, Perk, and I know you do, sometimes you might not stay up late on the Mountain Time Zone, but if you watch them play, when he's deciding whether or not to shoot or score, he's often making a read, because that's what good basketball players do. They make reads. So if he's getting a double, he's going to kick. If he sees the help coming too early, he's going to swing it to the corner. It's a good pass. What's the most efficient corner 3 in basketball? It's a corner 3. Look, Perk, I want to touch on something that they didn't bring up. This idea that Dirk and Steve Nash were favored to win the MVP because they're white. First of all, you stop short at 1990. That was your cutoff point for players to win MVP not in the top 10 in points per game, which is a stupid stat to judge MVP on. This isn't middle school. 1990, Magic won it. 89, Magic won it. 87, Magic won it. 87, he was 10th. 89, he was 15th. 90, he was 18th. Okay? We judge MVP year to year. You also said the criteria or the goalposts change year to year for certain players. No, it doesn't. We vote on the MVP. Hold on. We vote on the MVP based on that season. We vote on the MVP based on that season. It is a regular season award. Previous playoff runs have nothing to do with it. It's a regular season award for the most valuable player. And we can measure that, Perk. So maybe voters have gotten smarter. I want to talk about Dirk and Nash real quick, and I'll let you jump in. Dirk Nowitzki led the league in win shares in both 06 and 07. Led the league in offensive win shares in both 06 and 07. So, yeah, he wasn't top 5 or whatever he was, top 10 in scoring his MVP season. The Dallas Mavericks were 67-15. They had the best record in the NBA. In 05, Steve Nash was the driver of the #1 offense in the league, a team that jumped 20 wins and had the best record in the NBA. Okay. In 06 to me is one of the weirdest MVP seasons ever. You could make an argument Nash probably shouldn't have won it, but he was still the driver of the #1 offense in the league. The 2 best teams that year, the Detroit Pistons, 64 wins, the San Antonio Spurs, 63 wins. Guess what? They didn't have a top, their top scorers weren't in the top 20 in the NBA that year. So that was just a strange thing. You could have given it to Kobe. You could have given it to Shaq. You could have given it to Tim Duncan. They gave it to Steve Nash. It's not because he was white.
It was just a strange thing. It was just a strange.
But why did you cut it off at 1990 though? Because that was convenient. That was convenient.
I'm just saying. Hold on, time out. It was just a strange thing that it just happened. It was just a strange thing in 2006 when Kobe averaged 31. When he was playing with Kwame Brown and Smush Parker.
And what was the record that year? 42 and 40. They were 42 and 40.
So
let him speak. He's the most valuable player.
They made the playoffs with that roster. You take Kobe off that team, they probably win 8 games. Okay, so let's make that very, very clear. Now, since you want to talk about when I was saying and preaching about moving the goalposts, the reason I asked that question was for the simple fact that what I'm saying is I don't know the criteria no more. I don't know if it's because it's the #1 seed. I don't know if it's the #6 seed. I don't know how you judging it. Is we judging off of advanced stats or who's the most valuable player? You take them off this team. We don't know. We don't know, but we do know this. Since you do want to bring it up, we do know this, that when it comes to MVP voting, 80% of the voters are white American. 20% are others. I know that stat. If you want to talk about advanced stat, I do know that one. Now let's talk about this year. And let's talk about the stat pattern. What I said was, I'm never...
So that was the actual implication that the next video where we get to see where it gets a little more heated. And so we're going to actually talk about the implication versus what they were actually talking about. And I have some questions. I think you kind of asked it just a minute ago. What is the criteria? So if you'll play the second video, it's about 2 minutes long. Guys, hang in with me. I promise it's going to get entertaining.
I'm going to go ahead and apologize to Perk.
Play it at 10 minutes. Did you forward it to the 10 minute? Okay.
Stats inform us. They provide insight. They often reinforce the test. We all know what you...
the second video that I sent you?
Of the MVP voters are white and 20% are other.
Oh, maybe I sent the wrong one.
That this is why we vote for white players that don't deserve the award. It's really weird that a bunch of racist voters would mainly vote for black players.
Oh, you got it?
There you go.
Sorry.
That's fine.
We were playing the video whenever you were just talking. So,
okay.
Now go ahead and start saying what you were saying.
Okay, so basically in the second video that we're not going to play, JJ Redick actually apologizes to Stephen A. and apologizes to the show and basically accuses Kendrick of making this implication that it's a race thing and that we're actually steering the narrative to that, and that's what media gets to do. I have one thought before I open it up to the floor, and I want to agree that yes, the media does steer narratives in a lot of situations. Social media steers narratives in a certain situation. I've done it. I think this show has done it. I think every media personality has done it. Every outlet has done it to fit the to, basically stir the crowd. It's like Chris Rock, I had just watched his show the other day. It's selective outrage. It's what's going to get the people fired up in the moment. And it's sad to say that sometimes we do, as media outlets, steer the narrative. So I want to open up the floor to you guys. Was Kendrick Perkins, and I keep wanting to say Kendrick Lamar, so if I say that, y'all, I apologize. But in my mind, when I hear Kendrick Lamar. Was Kendrick Perkins right in his implication? And how do you feel about that? Trevor, I'm going to open it up to you.
Kendrick Perkins is just a fucking bum. I'm sorry. I'm going to start off with that. He attacks stat padding, one, because he couldn't put up stats when he was a player. I meant for his career, he averaged 5.4 points a game. He was a glorified role player, so I don't know. He
wasn't even a very good big man.
He's ESPN's prototypical analyst talk person that they find a way to make a story out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There is no story here. There is none. It's a three-man race, whether they're white, brown, black, green. It's Giannis, it's Jokic, and I don't even know who the third one is. Is it Embiid up there? And Embiid. It's those three. And you know what? They're all foreign. That doesn't get brought up. Hey, foreign players have won the MVP the last 5 years. Why isn't that the topic? Why isn't America producing better basketball players? They go to race. They're just trying to stir controversy, like you said. It's stupid. Mm-hmm. And regular season NBA is fucking stupid. It's pointless. An award for the best player during the time when players don't play a full season is dumb. Should be stipulated you got to play 95% of the games or you can't win a regular season award.
Which goes into load management.
Yeah, which is
that's a whole nother topic.
A whole nother topic we talked about last week, and Jokic plays every game.
Mm-hmm.
People play every game. It is what it is. So, yeah. There's been a few questionable ones in the past. The year, you can always make the argument that the greatest players, in the grand scheme of things, Jordan should have won probably 10 straight. LeBron probably should have won like 7, 8 straight in their primes, the same way it is for every sport. The greatest players don't always win it because voters get voter fatigue, unless you improve on what you did last year, which Jokic is actually improving his numbers from the last 2 years when he won the 2 MVPs. So it's a stat award. So, yes, padding stats. Look at Giannis the other day. 4 seconds left in the game. He gets a breakaway. He misses a layup to stat pad, and then they rescinded his rebound so he wouldn't have the triple-double.
Yeah.
It
was stupid.
The league's petty in that fact, too, that they're rescinding it a rebound because, he faked a rebound. Like, why are we in this world? What's the point of this? It is what it is.
Nick, how do you feel?
Me. My turn.
Hold on, yeah. Nick, before you start, you had a question. So I looked it up.
Okay.
The voting panel for the NBA MVP is 100 sportscasters and broadcasters, sports writers and broadcasters, and one fan or one normal person who's not affiliated with the NBA, one fan gets picked.
That's the panel.
And then you get like points for your first, second, and third. Like first place gets 10 points, second place gets 7, and third place gets 3.
So is Kendrick Perkins on that panel?
Hell no.
Maybe that's why he's upset. He's not on that panel.
On the panel.
It could be, but that was I Googled it and that's what I found.
How do you feel, Nick?
I just thought first I thought it was interesting. I was like, I'm gonna come on the show and the topic is race. Let's go.
It wasn't meant to be that way.
I even asked John. I was like, "Are you sure? You want to do this?"
He told me, and honestly, it was interesting. I saw it. I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this is gonna be good." Well, for me, I don't know. There's a lot of things. I have my own opinions with Kendrick Perkins because I'm an Oklahoma City Thunder fan. I'm from Oklahoma, so I've already had my thoughts about Perkins, but I'm trying to figure out why he's even broadcasting. That he's even an analyst of some sort, because I'm listening to him talk on a couple of interviews, and I'm just like, Why y'all letting this man talk? That's my thought. In regards to his statement, and we're talking about the whole MVP choice, so I'm going to stick on that right now. MVP as a whole, depending on, it doesn't matter what choice. I think the thing that people forget about when they're doing these votes is value. The word value is a big part of that word, most valuable player. So one, I think the criteria needs to be, as you stated, that the team has to be a playoff team, one at least minimum, not it being a regular season award. I mean, it whatever the case is there. But one, you have to be a top team, which Giannis is Milwaukee, right?
Number
and
2 seed.
then,
Number 1 now.
And then we got, they're number
best,
one.
their best record in the NBA.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they went on a 16-game
They
winning
were a 2
streak.
seed,
Yeah.
about a week
And I got something about that too. I don't know a lot about the NBA, but I do know the East is still middle school compared to the Western Conference. Is that still the case?
No.
The East
it's
the East
catching
is
up.
top. The East is top heavy.
It is very top heavy. The top 2, 3 versus everybody else. There's no.
Right. So, and then you got the Denver Nuggets.
Yes.
Okay. So my question is, I mean, looking at these two, because obviously those two are the top two. Whose team hurts the most with them gone?
Both. In my opinion,
But the most.
I think
there has to be one that hurts
you
the
lose
most.
Luka Doncic, and Denver's sub 500. You lose Giannis.
Luka's not on Denver, just so you know.
Did I say Luka?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said Luka.
Jokic. Sorry.
There
you go.
I was just looking at something with his name
okay.
on it.
Heads in the Mavericks.
It is. I think either team, if you lose that top player like Giannis or Jokic, however you say his name,
The Joker. Just call him the Joker.
the Joker.
Yeah, I saw the Joker.
They're both in the dumps, but I think Milwaukee would hold up better.
See,
because
and
they have
that's-
a little bit
to
more
me,
around him.
To me, that's where most valuable players should stem from, not stats. Who's bringing the most value to the top teams, and I'll put that out there, because I mean, and this is any sport. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes won MVP in the NFL, Super Bowl. He wasn't even the best quarterback playing that day.
No.
And he wasn't the best player on the Kansas City Chiefs, in my opinion, per position. There's other people that carried that team. And that's just that. NFL's a whole nother topic, but basketball is a more 5-on-5. It's a team sport, legit. So there's no legit quarterback out there unless you count the point guards, or the guards itself. But it's a question of value. I mean, the race card was his statement racist? The statement wasn't racist, but it implied racism.
Right.
It definitely implied racism was involved. But I mean, that was my thought on it. But the MVP, I mean, it doesn't matter what color is voting. In my opinion, the votings it should go to who's the most valuable player on the team, who hurts a team more by not being there. So.
John, follow up.
There is an unwritten rule that they put out there that your team should, if you're going to be in the MVP voting, your team should win 50 to 60 games and be a conference or division champion.
Absolutely.
So that is an unwritten rule. It's not written down anywhere, but they kind of abide by that to a certain degree.
Why does only NBA abide to that?
I don't know.
Not other leagues.
I don't know.
Mike Trout's won 4 MVPs, and his team's never made the playoffs.
I know.
In those years.
I agree.
See, so that for me, that wouldn't be a valuable player because you're not carrying your team to a certain standard.
I think it's a little
He's
harder
just a
in
popular
baseball, though.
player.
I mean, in
But
baseball, it's a little
Well, he's
harder.
the best player in baseball.
Yeah.
And it ends up being a popularity contest and not a legit.
Baseball is
most
more of a
valuable player.
popularity contest, even though they're.
I mean, so is football, though. Every sport is
Well,
actually.
I agree. And if you brought up
it's
Patrick
100%.
Mahomes and the playoff game right before the Super Bowl, he gets hurt.
Mm-hmm.
He goes and sits the bench. Chad Henne drives down and scores a touchdown. So is he the most valuable player on the team? I don't think so.
They don't. get
Jalen
as
Hurts
far,
leaves
They
his
don't
team.
get as far as they do, but
Jalen Hurts left his team for 3 games, and they lost 3 in a row.
To the Cowboys.
Stop it.
They lost 3 in a row. So to me, Jalen Hurts was more valuable to his team than Patrick Mahomes was.
I had to
So
take that.
for me,
dig.
the MVP voting, yeah, that's.
I
Now-
think the NFL is totally different because the NFL you're looking at quarterbacks are the focus. It doesn't matter.
Oh, they
Whatever.
should have a quarterback award. I think we discussed this. They should have a quarterback award.
For
You
sure.
should have a wide receiver award.
Well, I mean,
maybe
they
a
do.
tight end.
They do.
I know, but you're doing quarterback and then offensive player of the year. Isn't that the same thing?
You gotta be.
I mean, an
literally
MVP an offensive player.
You gotta literally create the wide receiver position or defensive position to win MVP
ever. I mean, the last one to win it was what, Adrian Peterson as a non-quarterback.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah.
The year he ran for 2,100 yards.
Yeah.
That's the last time anybody besides the
have
quarterback.
to give it to him.
But we're talking about basketball.
Yeah, we are talking about that. But
so I'm gonna go back to this. Yes, it was a racist comment, and I think Kendrick Perkins is just a freaking stupid fucking idiot. He should never. ESPN scripted anyway, but he said some shit on Twitter that he should have never said. JJ Redick got mad at it. The only thing he may have done is those 80% of white voters that just heard this. He might have fucked up Giannis and Joel Embiid's chance now, because they're gonna be like, well, why don't we just do it now?
No, because if they do that now, then they're really turning to racism.
I know. Yeah. But I'm just saying.
Is this not the same people who's been voting for years? Yes. And there's what? How many since that time? How many white folks, Caucasians since?
3. Steve Nash.
So
Dirt,
was this
and
not the
Joker.
same? Now I'm assuming. Further back, let's talk
Larry
about
Bird
the
was
80s.
the only other one.
Okay, let's go past Larry Bird. After Larry Bird. From that period up until
well, it was all white then.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
That's my point. So you're telling me things got better?
No. I mean, I was watching another stat, and they said, 80% of NBA players are African American.
Okay.
So, is there racism towards white people making the NBA? No, they just suck. It's not.
That's
it
depends on the context there, because I have it. I've had my thoughts in my mind. If I see a team of brothers and I see a team of Caucasians, I'm gonna pick the Caucasians because the Caucasians as a team will play better. Technically, you got a team of brothers. They're all ball hogging, and they got the talent. They probably got the better talent.
Right.
But
more athletic.
That's just
better
what
talent.
it is. I mean, you can see that almost in every sport. Iceland, soccer, bombed on the soccer world because of their chemistry, not the talent.
They just couldn't play together.
They just play well.
When you look at some of these, we'll bring NCAA into this, and you get some of these small schools where the talent isn't as great, but they've been playing together for 4 or 5 years, and they make a run, and all of a sudden you're like, where the hell did this team come from? It's because of the chemistry and the way they play together. Right. So I get your point in that. Yeah. But I just think Kendrick Perkins brought up something stupid, and I saw it, and I just had to bring it up because, racism's brought up every day, and it's sad that we still do this, and I just hate to see somebody that's on that type of platform pulling these type of shenanigans. And I am so glad that JJ Redick called him out for it though, on TV.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people call him out.
Well, I mean, yeah, now
he needed to be.
But JJ was the first one. He stood up to him and he's like, "Hey, this is dumb."
Charles Barkley recently called him out as well.
Well, I know.
Yeah, he just
everybody's attacking him now,
yeah.
but I mean, it was just stupid. You got to think before you speak sometimes, and it's just, especially when you're on ESPN, you got millions of viewers watching you every day, and you just pulled a dumbass move. So to me, that was just horrible.
So I'm gonna ignore your question on the next thing. It says, is the show First Take trash TV? We're not gonna poke.
It
bear.
is.
We're not gonna poke that bear.
It is. Stephen A. can call me. I'll tell him.
Well, Stephen
I don't
A.
give a shit.
Stephen A. is,
that is
not
trash
very high
TV.
up on my list. So
I'm sure.
Well, the only reason Stephen A's got any credibility is his cowboy takes. That's what gives him credibility in the media.
Really?
Just
he
saying.
just makes up half the shit he says there just to piss people off like me. I don't even listen to him half the time. All right, so moving forward, let's talk about some other news that's happened in the sports world. We had some NFL franchise tags. Mr. Lambjack himself, I asked around.
Lambjack.
I asked a few people that I know.
Nobody knew who the fuck I was talking about.
Lambjack.
Play football or, kind of are invested in the NFL. I asked them, I said, do you know who Lambjack is? And they're like, who?
Exactly.
And I said, but if I said Smiley, would you know? And they said, oh, that's Lamar Jackson.
Who the fuck is Smiley?
That's his nickname, not Lambjack.
Lambjack.
You can't just be making shit up. So anyways, Lamar Jackson has a non-exclusive franchise tag of $32.4 million. Did I write that right?
Yes.
I was reading the comments. But
okay. All right.
What was it?
$32 million.
$32.5 million.
$32.5 million.
Unprotected.
Is this a good move for Baltimore? John?
Yes. I
Simple,
mean,
straight to
they
the point.
need to get a contract done. But what this move does, it's an unrestricted franchise tag. So he can shop around and get other offers. If a team, he wants a fully guaranteed contract, by the way. He wants a Deshaun Watson type deal. And there's already been, 4 or 5 owners that said, no, we're not in. We're not even going to bid. We don't want any part of it. But what he can do is, if somebody does make him that offer that he wants, Baltimore has the chance to say, okay, you were right. We were wrong. We're going to either match it, or we're just going to say, c'est la vie, and you can go play for them, and we'll take their 2 first-round picks. So to me, yeah, Baltimore made the right decision because you don't pay running backs. And Trevor, what is Lamar?
He's a running back.
So to me, this was the right decision.
Is he a running back?
I mean, to me, he's a running back.
I'm asking a stupid question.
He's a very
because I
athletic
already know what he is.
guy, but he's not much of a quarterback. Not
He's
that
a
he's had the
running
weapons,
quarterback.
but he has never made a wide receiver better than they were. So to me, yes, he's a glorified running back. And they did make the right decision. And if they choose to sign him after another team makes him an offer, then then they really did want him. But I feel like they couldn't come to terms on what his deal was. So now let's flip it into your court and you go. It's kind of like what they did with Jimmy G. You want to be traded? Go find somebody that's going to trade you. Didn't happen. He stayed, ended up playing, got hurt. Brock
Again.
Purdy
Made
came
some
out.
money, though.
He did make some money
because he got that bonus.
He did. And then Brock Purdy came in, and Jimmy G's no more a 49er.
Exposed.
Yes.
Exposed.
Yes. So if Baltimore really wants him to stay, this was the right move for them because it cost them less on the salary cap. Instead of $41 million, it was $32. So I think it was the right move.
Trevor?
It was the right move in the sense that my boy Lambjack himself he's representing himself, which I understand he's saving himself money. But also it doesn't allow someone that is specialized in that field to do your shit. Like I'm sure his mom is technically his agent and does stuff like that, but I feel in that way, like if I have a complex tax return and I'm doing my tax return, I would rather have someone that knows the ins and outs of everything handle my complex tax return than me going on TurboTax and just going the simple way and doing it that way. So I get every one of my pennies
good
back.
Analogy. I like the way you did that. That was pretty good.
He may know a ton about contracts, but he isn't specialized in the contract field. Like if you may know a lot about law by watching shit and reading, but I think you'd still rather pay someone to be your lawyer if you're going to court. And I think that's hurting him a little bit too, so he's got to do his own negotiating, which is why I think they are kind of butthurt between the two of them, between the Ravens. Because when the Ravens negotiate with any NFL or sports team negotiates with a player's agent, they're going to say, hey, we're not going to go this high because this reason why. Like, we don't like this aspect of a player.
Our friend Lewis on Facebook said, this is why I married an accountant. He's right. Someone actually gave you a you're right. Wow.
Damn right.
Olivia, write that down. Trevor got a you're right.
But I meant, because when you're negotiating, like if you're going to your boss to negotiate your contract, he's going to say, well, I can't give you this much money because we think you're deficient at X, Y, and Z.
And a lot of people will get butthurt by that.
And they'll get butthurt by that. And then maybe Lamar's getting butthurt by that.
And this is going to trash his relationship between him, the GM, and the coach, and the owner, because he's trying to do all this himself. You're right. It's gonna ruin the relationship.
You got two you're rights.
I got nothing wrong with somebody negotiating their shit if they know 100% of it all. And he may, I don't know the guy personally.
But you got to be able to take that criticism, too, when they come back at you and say, no, we're not giving you
I
that
don't
much.
know. I meant what they teach running backs in Louisville when he was in college, how much he learned as a running back. But from the Ravens side, it's a good deal because they're paying him below market. I meant above market value for a running back, below market value for a quarterback. But there's no risk involved here for them.
And it was $13 million less than the exclusive.
I got a couple of comments on Facebook that I want to share real quick.
Shoot.
So Lewis gave us a quote. A man who represents himself has a fool for a client. That's why he says that's why lawyers never represent themselves. Kat says, I watch Law and Order, so I am a lawyer. We know that's not true. And then Steve says, all great points, Trevor. Look at you tonight.
I came prepared, and I'm doing my notes as we talk, too.
He says, in regards to Lamar repping himself.
Yeah.
We really thank you guys for your comments. Keep them coming. Nick,
Mm-hmm.
your thoughts on this?
I agree with John. I mean, it's a smart move for the Ravens because, in my opinion, they win-win in that situation. Rather they're going to negotiate a contract with them, and it's not going to be what he would probably have if he had an agent for sure. But if he does shop and go somewhere else, what they're getting out of it, because I'm, you know me, I follow my Niners, and I see what my Niners are talking about, and I'm like, heck no. They talk about Bosa, Lance, and 2 first-round picks for no. What are y'all talking
Lamar?
about?
You feel like we're better agents for these
Absolutely
football
not.
players than these?
Fuck, really?
Absolutely.
Why would you get not even Bosa?
Bosa? Heck no. I'm
No
like,
first
get outta here.
rounders. No.
I don't know. Absolutely not. But I
I'll
mean,
give you Purdy. I wouldn't even do that.
for him, I mean, I don't knock him necessarily as a quarterback. He's done things for the Ravens, and I mean, you said he didn't make any receiver better, and he didn't have the talent. But I would like to see what he can do with talent, and not on an injury season. I would like to see what he can do. I mean, he's shown some flashes. He's better than Joey Flacco.
Okay, I'll
Crying
give you
out
that.
loud.
But Joe Flacco also has a Super Bowl win.
Exactly. Did he
It
get
wasn't
MVP?
him. No, he didn't win MVP.
Who
that
won
year.
MVP that year? See, that's the whole MVP conversation.
I don't know, but the defense should have been the MVP.
The
that
whole
year.
defense.
So
yeah.
And that's another thing of the whole thing, too, is the Ravens aren't going to pay him top dollar because when they do that, what does that sacrifice?
everything else.
The rest of their team.
The quarterback didn't do bad. Who was it? Was Bentley? What's his name?
Todd Hundley,
Huntley. I know it started
who
with
made the
a
Pro Bowl, which is another fucking
See.
joke of a bullshit.
Yeah.
But that's us voting.
Yeah, that's
that is
stupid.
legit a
But no, he
popularity
wasn't in
contest.
popularity because like the top 7 people that were voted in decided I don't want
They're
to
not
go
gonna
play
go.
flag football.
What?
Yeah, everybody
yeah,
dropped
yeah.
out. Everybody dropped out.
Yeah.
Because you had Justin Herbert and everybody else was above him, and they all just, nah, we're not
Yeah.
going to do that.
And it's understandable. But they don't want to play real football either because they don't get hurt.
Right.
So
The Pro Bowl's just dumb.
yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to not looking forward to this one because I know what's about to happen, and I'm just going to sit quietly. I'm not going to let you guys take jabs at me. But Tony Pollard of the Dallas Cowboys was franchised for just a little over $10 million. And the question on the table is, what happens to Zeke now? Please be kind, y'all, because I'm still emotional about my Dallas Cowboys.
Who they lose to? I forgot.
Really?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Really?
49ers?
Really?
2 years in a row?
Wow.
Oh.
Wait, they lost to the Packers again this year, too,
Already.
didn't they?
Already.
Oh, shit.
They didn't play Denver, so they couldn't lose to them.
I knew when I wrote this on the run sheet, I was like, man, I'm in for a
I'm
beating
sorry. I forgot
tonight.
my paper.
I'm in for a beating tonight. Nick, what happens to Zeke now that Tony Pollard's been franchise tagged?
Zeke and Derrick Henry, they both expendable on both of their teams. We've been talking about that all year. That Pollard was the better back, but as we said, backs are easy to come by. You run a back out, replace them with another one.
Yeah.
I mean, backs, honestly, right now, most of them are mediocre. You got some good talent. Like, even right now, literally, the good backs are the ones that can catch out of the backfield. Tony Pollard is that.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke was not that.
I was
He
really
that goal
impressed
line
with
runner.
Tony Pollard
Oh,
this
definitely.
year. Very
He was
impressed.
definitely the better back. And, I mean, when you have a bruiser back like Zeke, you're getting a couple of years out of him, and then he's going to wear out. Derrick Henry's different. He lasted a while, but it's his time too. And I think the Texans is trying to court him right now.
Seattle was looking at him. Texans are looking at him.
There's a ton of backs in the league, and they're just waiting for their number to be called. I mean, I know that as a Niner fan because we are rotating door, and every back we put back there, we got 5 backs back there just ready to run. So, I mean,
I think
I
you're
wouldn't be
kind of
hurt.
stuck with the one you got right now.
So as a Cowboy fan, before
no,
everybody
but he
gets
ain't
their
going nowhere.
opinions in, I would not be hurt if Zeke was gone. I would not be upset if Zeke was gone. I know that Dalton Schultz, he might be out the door. I'm not going to be upset if Dak Prescott's out the door. there are a few people on this team that I would not be upset. I actually kind of like that Tony Pollard was tagged, so that way there's a little more. I feel a little better about my team with Tony Pollard as the running back, and I hope they give him more of an opportunity, more chances than Zeke gets, just to show his worth, because I think he's developing in a positive way. I really do. So, Trevor, go ahead.
My turn?
Unleash.
What was the question into this statement? What was your actual physical question?
What happened
now
to
that Tony
Zeke
Pollard's
now?
been franchised, and should Tony Pollard have been franchised?
What happens to Zeke is Zeke takes a pay cut or he walks the streets. Number 2, Tony Pollard should not have been franchise tagged. What happened to Tony Pollard at the end of the season? Got hurt.
But
what happened to Michael Gallup at the end of last season?
Tore his ACL.
And what did the Cowboys do at the end of last season to Michael Gallup? Gave him a contract exchange. And they regret it the next year. Leg injuries in those kind of positions. Yes, 1 out of 10 come back and become...
Peterson?
Quit fucking harping on stupid-ass Peterson.
Dude,
I'll get my switch out and beat your ass.
Hey, he will beat your ass.
But it's a little bit of a gamble, but it's only a 1-year gamble to see if he comes back. It's not a multi-year gamble. So, but in my eyes,
I think he got hurt with enough time to heal and come back.
Yes,
fresh.
But Gallup came back fresh to start the year.
Yeah, but Gallup wasn't our best wide receiver.
He wasn't meant to be. He was signed to be your number 2, and he didn't pan out to that. But
I'm okay with that.
Could you find the same thing as Pollard in the draft this year in the 2nd and 3rd round? Like you did with Pollard 2 years ago.
We're going to get to the combine in a little while and talk about the draft a little bit.
I will answer your question, yes.
Could they find someone to replace both of them in this draft and pay them $2 million next year?
Get them cheap.
And get them cheap. You draft 2 or 3 running backs in the draft this year. You let both of them walk. You draft 2 or 3.
You've already got one in behind Tony. You don't even know how good he is. He has his flashes. I don't know. Was it Malik? What was his name? Malik Johnson or something?
Yeah.
It hasn't paid out to anybody that's renewed running backs. I meant Carolina renewed Christian McCaffrey, then realized, why the fuck are we paying a running back money when we're a terrible team, and they traded him away. Mm-hmm. And the Niners, the only reason the Niners did it is because that was a building piece for them. They were a spark away from making the next step, and that's why they did it.
And they were still 1 injury away from making the Super Bowl.
So we have a couple people that are watching that are Dallas Cowboy fans.
A couple?
Yeah, a couple. Steve says he agrees. Zeke can go, overpaid for not much production for the last couple years. Someone agreed with me. Thank you very much. Sir Charles, he agreed with me, and he says #Go Cowboys. Kat says ditch Zeke, keep Schultz. He's underused. And Ray says Pollard's gonna be just fine.
Hold on, you do not need Dalton Schultz, and you do not need to pay him when you have Ferguson sitting there on rookie contracts.
Ferguson, did you just?
Yes.
I can't deal with you.
That's the nicknames for those two.
Wait, you're letting him pass with Ferguson, but I get shit on for Lambjack?
Cut off their mics for these stupid nicknames. I don't know.
Come on, you got 2 tight ends sitting behind Dalton Schultz that's probably better than Dalton Schultz, and they're on rookie contracts. Why pay that son of a bitch anything? Let him walk. I can't believe this. I would have let Tony Pollard walk. I let Zeke walk. And like Trevor said, I'm going to go draft me a new Bijan Robinson's probably going to be sitting there 20, whatever draft pick you got, 24th, or you can trade up a little bit and go get him. And he's going to be a game changer. Go get Bijan Robinson.
It's going to be a bad one.
The kid from Alabama is good too. Or is it Alabama or Georgia?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. But Bijan's the #1 running back in this draft.
One of those SEC teams.
Yeah. But
I'm okay with dumping Schultz. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with you guys dumping Schultz, Pollard, and Zeke. You don't need any of them. You're going to pay him too much. You already paid Pollard $10 million.
Pollard's still on my list, but I'll take the other 2 off. That's fine.
So if he doesn't do anything this year, should you still sign him? If he gets hurt again?
I don't think that.
I mean, you guys had this problem with Zeke when you paid him. What happened?
But
he ate his way through his money.
Zeke is a different animal. Zeke is a different animal. Like
he does look like an Ewok.
He's a different animal. He's
100%.
Straight up wicked.
I mean, honestly, I would have probably kept Zeke on a minimum contract and then drafted
When
me a
he
couple
held
running backs
out-
and just used him as my 3rd and 1 back
When
every
Zeke
time.
held out and went to Mexico, that's when I would have stopped conversation. I would not have had a conversation with him
Wasn't he
after
pulling
he
girls'
held
shirts
out.
down?
I would
That
not
was-
have
reason I
had a
keep him.
conversation with him. If
was
I
one
was Jerry
girl's shirt.
Jones, I would not have had a
fine.
conversation with him. You're not in it for the team. You're in it for yourself.
Oh, 'cause he held
and
out?
That, yes. And he hasn't proven his worth since then. We paid him all this money. Uncle Jerry paid him all this damn money, and he hasn't proven himself. So cut him loose. Cut him loose. He was on my hit list when we ended that last game.
I've already told you don't pay running backs. You do not pay running backs.
I agree
And
with Ray. Pollard going to kill it this season. We're going to end it on that note. Josh Jacobs, he was tagged for a little over $10 million. Was he worth it?
No, you don't pay running backs. Let them go. Let them find another home. The Raiders are a dumpster fire, juicy, nasty place.
Well, they
to
got rid
play
of their
anyway.
quarterback. And
Well,
we're going to get into that in
They
a
could
minute.
be getting a new quarterback, maybe.
They could be getting a new quarterback, but no, Josh Jacobs could be a great running back. I think he's better than Tony Pollard or Zeke put together.
Okay, we're off the Cowboys.
But I'm still not going to pay him $10 million for one season. I mean, what are you waiting for? If you're going to pay him, pay him. If not, let him go and let him find another contract somewhere else where he can go do some damage. But after 4 or 5 years of being a running back in the NFL, 90% of them are done. I'm just being honest. 90%
The way
of
that the
them are
NFL
done.
is now, yeah. There's
I
no
mean,
longevity in running backs.
No,
Absolutely
even if you
not.
can catch the ball out of the backfield, like a Christian McCaffrey. How
That's-
many times has he been hurt?
Right, but that's the
He's an
alternative. If you're
exception.
just a bruiser, you're
you're done.
gone.
You're done.
Kat's asking why I'm starting shit because that's my job. That is my job.
If you
I
notice,
am Queen Patty.
If you notice, most of these franchise tags that came out, they're all running backs because they don't want to pay them the full. They don't want to give them a contract. They don't want to sign up for 4 more years because you don't know what you're going to get. So you're going to sign up for 1 more year at the league average and see what happens. But I'm not doing it. Not on my NFL team.
Definitely, if you got a team without a line.
And Vegas has no line.
Absolutely not.
That's why Derek Carr's gone.
Ray says the guy whose quarterback flopped when he came to Denver.
Hey. We've won a
Shots
Super
fired.
Bowl in this century, okay?
And you're still undefeated in 2023.
And we are undefeated in 2023.
That's facts.
Facts.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Trevor, Josh Jacobs, your thoughts?
No, none.
None. Nick?
I agree. I agree with John. I mean, you don't. I mean, I agree with John on that. You don't pay run. I mean, running backs. There's so many. If you play fantasy football, you know there's so many.
Yep.
Just get you a decent couple, and you're good. I mean, it's literally the difference is does the running back have a line or do they not have a line to run it behind? And if you have a line, don't pay the running back. You can get a mediocre running back, and they'll do just as fine.
You know where you don't need to go for fantasy for a running back? Baltimore. Because they already got one behind.
Maybe. Maybe.
Well, the previous years.
They
You didn't need a running
but they
back
franchise tagged him. So.
Yeah.
All right, how about Evan Ingram? He was also franchise tagged this week for a little over $11 million. I think it was $11.345 million. That's a very specific tag, but
Tight end tag.
it's a tight end. And what do you think, Nick?
Yes.
Yes? You're all in on this?
You already know I'm big on Jacksonville being the next big thing next year. I was big on them this year. I called it that they were going to the Super Bowl. Ingram was a part of that. Yeah, he was a very crucial part of that offense. I think they need to keep him.
Yeah.
Tight ends are not running backs.
Nope.
you get a good tight end, you need to hold on to him. I mean, there's only few teams. I mean, the main teams right now that have the good tight ends were where this year? They were all in the playoffs, were they not? All the main tight ends were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's a crucial position, in my opinion. Yeah, absolutely.
Trevor?
Jacksonville's got money, so it doesn't really affect them.
The cons.
Jacksonville's got the money. And they're basically all in on the next 2 years. They got Calvin Ridley coming off his
Suspension.
dumbest suspension in the history of suspensions.
For gambling?
For playing on DraftKings, basically.
Yeah.
For a fucking year.
I know. Year suspension on a thing that the NFL owns.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I'm going to share her comment in a second.
Jacksonville's all in, so I meant that seems a little aggressive for a tight end that hasn't performed to the top 4 in the league ever.
But I think he was the leading wide receiver on their team.
That doesn't matter.
Leading receiver. I can't say wide receiver. 'cause he's
Receiver.
a tight
Yeah.
end, but
He
he was the
was the
leading
leading
receiver
receiver.
for Jacksonville last year. So
Yeah.
my only question to this is, why didn't you just sign him to a contract?
Because he wants more money than that.
Well, I get that, but if he's worth it,
But they don't think he's worth it. Like, I don't think he's worth it. So they're getting him at a slight discount for a year and saying, hey, we have another wide receiver coming. We just paid Christian Kirk money. We got Calvin Ridley coming back. Can you perform again this way when we have 2 what we consider top-tier wide receivers? Will you perform again the same way? And I think this will bring him down to earth and they get him on a discount the following year because he will not be he will not be their leading wide receiver.
okay.
A question on that. Because it's not just him as a tight end, it's also his chemistry
With Trevor Lawrence.
with Trevor Lawrence. So if you have a tight end that has that chemistry and has provided that with him, do
Yeah.
you sacrifice losing him when y'all had such a streak?
Yes and no, but this is also what Evan Ingram's been in the league, 5-6 years, right?
5.
Because he started his career in New York, I believe, right, with the Giants. And like I said, no one goes to Jacksonville as a free agent unless they get money whipped. Julius Thomas from the Broncos a few years ago, Evan Ingram, they money whip people to come there because no one wants to go there. So they're trying to turn the culture. And I think, they show another winning season again this year, improvement. They turn the culture, and then they get free agents at that level that want to come there and not demand big money to be there, and that starts shifting. Does that make sense? The reason why Jerry Jones back in the 90s said, hey, we need a salary cap in the NFL because we're the Dallas Cowboys. People want to come here to play because it's the Dallas Cowboys and not for money.
He screwed himself.
And he screwed himself because Jerry could be like, you know what, I'll pay whoever I want. It doesn't matter. Because we make money on merchandise and stuff like that, I'll make it up with that. But Jerry fought for the salary cap because he thought his name alone would draw free agents and make people want to stay in Dallas. And no one wants to go to Jacksonville.
All right, so I've got a couple of comments that I want to read on Facebook. Kat, who is apparently drunk watching us, she says, I love a tight end. Sorry,
I almost
drinking
said
tequila.
that too, actually.
And then Sir Charles Thomas says, tight ends are not running backs. And I just want to say, no shit.
And I think this was
I'm just being sarcastic.
I think this was a dumb move by Jacksonville because I would have signed him. Because when you get a good tight end, which I think Evan Ingram is
There's
very
just
good.
not. There's just not
He was their
something
lighting
out
wide
there.
receiver.
Yeah.
Leading wide receiver.
They're lighting?
Sorry. Leading wide receiver. And you
Check
got
another
to
one.
give him I am going to. Don't worry. You have got to give him a contract and get him signed because you don't know if he's going to be the next Travis Kelce for your team with Trevor Lawrence. You don't know if he's going to be the next, Shannon Sharp or Jason Witten. You don't know that.
Gronk with Brady.
Gronk, yes.
I mean, if you got chemistry,
When you get
with a
that
tight end?
combination, yes, you got to get after it and sign him and get the deal done. Franchise him this year. Maybe you make maybe you get a contract done before the end of the year, which they may.
maybe
But I think
they want to see more.
maybe they just didn't have time to get the contract, so they franchised him, and maybe they'll do it later. But
They
You gotta
have
get
till
a hold
middle of July to get a contract done.
Right.
So this isn't the do-all, end-all. It's not like they're franchise. They're playing under this year.
What you call it? Can talk until October. His tag, he talks until October, right?
Lamar.
Lamar.
Yeah.
Larjack. Larjack.
Lamjack.
I'm
Don't-
going with that.
So you can't
Don't-
even get
don't-
you can't even get the name down.
Don't
Lamjack. I
encourage
gotta
that
get it because that's
behavior.
Lamb
Hey,
Jack.
just don't forget about Ferguson. Because you got Ferguson and Hendershot. It's Ferguson.
But anyway, so how much? What was the contract for Ingram?
11.345 million. That's the
So-
tight end average.
So, 11 million. I wish I knew what his contract. But I mean, he had 4 touchdowns on the year,
Yeah, but it's still
700 yards.
For a tight end,
Yeah.
700 yards is
Who's
Not
good.
bad. Not bad.
Who's the running back?
ETN.
ETN.
Travis. So I mean, he probably got more. You get short yard. I don't know. I take him. Take it. Sign him.
I don't think. I think Ingram didn't come on until the end of the year. It was something was going on.
Like
at the beginning.
halfway.
The second when they got their chemistry towards the end of the
New
year,
York
that's when he
traded
started
him or
firing.
something.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't need the fans chiming in and getting on Trevor's side. Christian says, I've heard Lambjack before Trevor mentioned it.
Easy peasy.
Don't.
Fuck yeah.
No, you're done.
Oh,
your mic is off too, sir. Yeah. So speaking of,
Hold on, we missed one. It wasn't on our run sheet, but
No.
it happened late yesterday after Daniel Jones was signed. Saquon Barkley also got franchised for the $10 million.
Another running back.
Another running back. That's
paid-
what I'm saying. Most of them were running backs.
Did you pay Barkley?
No. Hell no. He was hurt 3 out of the 5 years that he even freaking ran. But, I mean, just to throw it out there, Saquon got tagged too. And I think if they want to keep him, they'll sign him halfway through the season if he doesn't get hurt.
What are their other options?
No, they don't have one.
And Barkley,
That's yeah. 'cause
Barkley
they don't.
also has said he'll play on a discount too. He's
Right.
not looking for big money.
Right. He just wants to play.
He wants to play.
All right, so speaking of moves and contracts and things and shifts and moves with the NFL, a couple weeks ago we did talk about the quarterback carousel, and you guys put it out there where you thought certain quarterbacks were going to go based on a list that I gave you. I wasn't able to have time to go back and rewatch that episode, but I'm sure you're going to be honest and tell me if this is what you really picked. So we actually had that Derek Carr is going to the Saints. That decision was made, I believe, yesterday. I don't have his contract details, but I'm sure one of
4
you
years,
do.
$150 million.
There you go. Did
100
either
million-
one of
100
you?
$100 million in guarantees. And the Saints now have the best quarterback in their division.
He's the only quarterback in their division.
Are they pulling thinking they're gonna get a lightning in the bottle twice because of pulling from San Diego? What's my guy's name? Who was the quarterback of the Saints?
Drew Brees.
Drew Brees. You think they pulling lightning in the bottle again? You think that's what they're trying to pull? Pulling a team from AFC West?
I think this is the best quarterback that was available.
Oh yeah.
In the free agent market right now, besides maybe,
Don't even.
And he's not a free agent. So in the free agent market, he was the best available quarterback.
Who's not free agent?
Oh, you won't throw shots
Your
at
boy.
him.
No,
Oh.
I was talking about his boy.
He's just
okay.
a fucking diva
Ron.
ass bitch.
Hey, Ron.
But I think this was the best available quarterback, and the Saints actually went after something and actually got him. I didn't think they were going to get him. I thought he was going to the Washington, whatever the
Commanders.
fuck. Commanders. I thought he was going there.
The
I
replacements.
did. On our quarterback carousel, I had Derek
That's
Carr
where you
going
had
to
him.
Washington.
Where did you have him, Trevor?
I had
I mean, I
not,
can go back and verify.
I had him not in Oakland, which as a
Nobody's playing in Oakland.
As a Packer fan, it's the funniest fucking thing in the world because Devontae went to Oakland to pay with his
Can
boy.
we say Vegas?
Yes, I can. Went to the Raiders to play with his boy from college, and his boy from college is gone, and now Devontae's trying to recruit Aaron to come to the Raiders, which is funny. But I'm all for this 100%. One, because this makes the Jets even more desperate as fuck to go get Aaron Rodgers because
They put all their chickens in one basket.
their backup plan to not getting Aaron Rodgers just signed with the Saints.
Yes.
So the Jets are all in. So I'm ready for the second Hall of Fame quarterback to come from Green Bay and then get traded to the Jets and then just fucking fall apart. I'm all for it. I want to see 2 first-rounders and a player to be named and a second-rounder coming to the Packers for Aaron Rodgers, and I'm all for that 100%.
Nick, what you think
About
Derek Carr going to the Saints?
I mean, like I said, that was when I saw it. I thought they were repeating what they thought they did before, and that with Drew Brees, they picked a quarterback that was, kind of middle at the time, because I guess
Brees was coming off an
He was
injury though
hurt,
too.
yeah.
He was
And
coming off the shoulder
injury,
injury
yes. And they picked him up, and he turned his career around in New Orleans. He picked up a city. I mean, or do they think they can do it again? Can he do it again? I'm not going to knock him. He's got talent. I think he could do some things there. It's a fresh. I think both are looking to have an upside. So I think it's a good move for both because the Saints need the help, and Derek Carr needs a home. So I think it's a good move for both teams.
I think it's a better move for Derek Carr just because that division is so wide open with Tom Brady retiring, even though he probably wouldn't have helped it. But
which makes it a good move for the Saints too, because the Saints are, hey, we can win this division with 3 wins next year. All we have to do is win 3 games.
Well, right, but I think Derek Carr picking them because he had his pick. He could have gone to the Jets didn't offer, but I think it's a good move for Derek Carr. I really do. Fresh start, somewhere new.
All right,
get out of Vegas.
Someone that was controversial in our discussions when we were talking about MVP for the NFL, John, you were a little upset.
No, comeback player of the year.
Oh, yeah, comeback player of the year. Sorry, with the NFL
The
awards.
Kim Kardashian story.
Yeah, basically. Geno Smith stays at the Seahawks. Was this a good move for the Seahawks?
Yes.
Nick likes it.
I love it.
As a 49er fan, he loves that shit.
Nick, why do you love it? Why do you love it? Tell me why you love it.
How many years?
3 years, $105 million.
I would love to play him for that many. Yes, absolutely. It's a great move.
He's in your division.
He's
so,
in our division.
Yeah.
And
Did y'all go 2-0 against him?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Bring him.
So it's like it's almost like a guaranteed win for you guys. No
I'm
matter
good
who's
with
on your team, it's a guaranteed win.
I'm good with that.
Oh, they got the plug-and-play quarterback in San Fran. They don't give a shit.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. No, don't do that. Because Garoppolo is not plug and play. It's not.
He
plug
did
and
really
play.
good this year.
No,
Last
stop
year.
it. Stop. Okay, so did Dak.
Stop.
I'm just saying. Dak,
No.
Dak
What?
and
Hold
Garoppolo
on.
are the
Time
same
out.
kind of
Time out.
quarterback. It's
Time
the
out.
same thing.
Dak led the league in interceptions.
Lay your shots at him. He's a Denver fan. Don't lay your shots at me.
It's not the same situation. The reason why I say that is because we're the same team. We're literally the same team. We got the same talent on both teams.
Yeah.
The issue was quarterback. Now
For sure.
had a quarterback with Purdy until he got hurt. Y'all still had to suffer with Dak. If we would have still suffered with Garoppolo, it would have been the exact.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
It'd have been a flip of the coin.
Y'all have
with
a
our
Garoppolo
team, with our
situation
game.
right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I like Dak. He's all right, but y'all need a better quarterback.
We
back
do.
there. Sorry.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
No,
But hold your shots fired for John.
I'm not. I can't make that at John because it's his
ain't my team.
His team is different.
Russell Wilson.
Y'all's team is
what?
literally the same team. It's literally that's why the game was so balanced. You look at the stat sheets. It was literally everything was the same.
Yeah.
It's
Except
the
for your
quarterback
play.
Trevor, do you like Geno Smith at the Seahawks?
What was the contract?
3 years, $105 million, $35 million a year.
So this
105 million.
This motherfucker right here, Geno Smith,
Not the motherfucker.
came into the league in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So that is
10 years
2,
ago.
4, 6, 8. He's played 9 years in the NFL.
Mhm.
He threw 30 touchdowns this past year, right?
Mhm.
He has fucking 64 for his career.
Yeah, he almost doubled it.
Get the fuck out of here with this bullshit.
Hey.
Like, you can go after, you could draft a quarterback. You could do anything you want. His production is.
You know what they could have done? Traded some of those Denver Broncos picks that they got for Russell Wilson and moved up in the draft and got whoever you want.
Geno Smith, yes. I don't even know how to. I don't even. No, that's
You can't
stupid.
even form a thought
I
right
can't.
now.
I
So
can't
I'm gonna
it
tell you
doesn't.
what-
It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna tell you what Seattle should have done.
Make
you
it make sense, Joe.
franchise Geno Smith this year.
He would have gotten paid more.
You got $32 million. Nobody's gonna match it.
Yeah.
You would have got the same thing your Lamb Jack got. $32 million. Nobody's gonna match a contract or try to sign him.
He doesn't play anywhere
So you
else.
franchise him 1 year, and then you see if he can repeat what he just did, and then you talk contract.
He can't.
What
You
did he
don't- you
do
don't
though?
just-
He can't repeat.
He took him to the playoffs.
Barely.
I
They
know.
lost. They lost
I know,
the
but
last
I'm just-
against trash teams.
They made the playoffs because the Packers shit the bed against the Lions in the last week of the season.
I know, but
Which the Lions is coming. Y'all better watch out.
that's
for
why I'm saying you franchise tag him.
Jared
and
Goff is gonna
see-
have a step back.
See what he can do. See if he can come back and do something. Have the same type of. I mean, he did lead the league in completion percentage. He had a good year.
Against who?
Nobody. I mean, he
okay.
plays the NFC West, so
And we're the only team there. That's two
exactly.
games. Other than that,
exactly. So just
No,
franchise him for 1 year, pay him the $32 million. I mean, you're paying him $35 anyway, but now it's guaranteed for 3 years. No, you franchise tag him and then see if it pans out. If it doesn't, you drop him. You pick up another quarterback. Move on.
This is a reason why the NFL is broken. They pay.
We're not the GMs.
No. The NFL.
Let me be the fucking
Come on,
GM.
Julie, get on there.
The
I
NFL.
know, right? I got some work to do.
One, values quarterback slightly too high. Two, pays off of a randomness. So what happened to what's his nuts that won the Super Bowl with the Eagles the year after they won the Super Bowl?
Carson Wentz.
No,
Foles?
Foles. What happened the next year? Eagles let him go, and he got a big contract from somebody else,
And
right?
what happened?
Indy.
And nothing happened because he had a little flash of goodness.
Is Indy where quarterbacks go to die?
I guess. I mean, he went there.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers went there, and then
Well, Phillip had a good
Matt
year.
Ryan went there.
Phillip had a good year. Matt Ryan is just. Did
I
you
mean-
ever see Matt Ryan's comment after Tom Brady retired? He made the comment of, "Oh, I was about to retire, but I'm not going to let Tom Brady do that to me again. So I'm just going to wait till 3:28 and announce my retirement." Because that's what the lead in the Super Bowl was. He was up 28-3,
yeah.
and he's just like. But no, I mean, it doesn't pan out when you re-sign these journeyman quarterbacks that haven't. He was at the Jets. He was with the Giants. He was with the Chargers. And it didn't pan out at any of these other places. And all of a sudden you're telling me Pete Carroll is the fucking quarterback whisperer?
Hold on. Before you go too far, what happened to Russell Wilson after he left Pete Carroll?
He went to a first-year coach that didn't know what he was doing. Russ is Mr. Unlimited. He's Mr. Unlimited.
Hold on. Let's ride
Hmm?
this statement right on out of here.
Go ahead. Do that right in front of the green screen.
So anywho, and he's stupid.
Stupid. Speaking of stupid, is Daniel Jones worth what he's asking for at the Giants?
Oh no, he got signed to a 4-year, $160 million contract.
Is he worth it?
$35 million more available in incentives on top of his $160 million. Hell no, he's not worth it.
Wait. You're telling me a guy that threw 15 touchdowns last year isn't worth $40 million a
You're
year?
damn right. I would have signed Saquon Barkley over Daniel Jones.
That threw for 3,000 yards?
No. Get the fuck out of here. Somebody should have shot the Giants because no. Just shoot the whole organization right now and burn the franchise down because you just made the biggest mistake you've ever made.
HR, if you want his number, let me know.
I don't give a fuck.
No, that's some bullshit. So, again.
Nick, are you like tripling down on this
No,
thought?
I agree. No, absolutely not.
You should be so happy about this, just like he's happy with Geno Smith.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It's the
you should be
Giants.
ecstatic.
It's the Giants. I'm never scared of the Giants. As long as they keep their team the same, I'm not scared of the Giants. When I see them on our schedule, I'm like, okay,
But they're always
whatever.
2 years, 2 years, 2 times a year. Yeah.
It is what it is with the Giants. Like, I just don't give a shit about the Giants. And I know that we have some Giant fans that are watching or that might be fans of the show, but I just don't give a shit about the Giants. They're right up there with
the Cowboys.
With the what the fuck
Oh.
Commanders. Yeah, I just don't give a shit about them either.
You can't say that about the Eagles now, can you?
The Eagles are kind of scary. The Eagles have been scary, and I fear them just a little bit. But, there are just some teams in the
next
NFL
quarterback
I
I wanna
just
see
don't
get
scare.
signed. I want to see what his contract is.
Moving on, let's talk about Trevor's team, and I want to hear your thoughts on Aaron Rodgers and will he go to the Jets? Do you want him to go to the? Well, you've already said you.
I want him
to
to go to the
He
Jets.
wants him out of Green
Yeah,
Bay.
I want him gone.
You want him gone.
I want him gone for two reasons. One,
Let's see what Jordan Love can do.
I want to see what Jordan Love has. We have
Dilly fuck Philly. Thank you, Kat.
we have 2 years left on a rookie deal, so this is a chance to see him. This is the exact, to the T, the exact same scenario of when they
Brett
drafted Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers sat 3 years behind Brett Favre. Brett Favre contemplated retirement, came back and forth, didn't know what the fuck was going on, and the Jets came a fucking calling. When they traded Brett Favre, they only got a second round pick for him because they wouldn't trade him to the Vikings. He ended up with the Vikings. But
Well, they didn't want to trade him in
So
the
you love the
division.
repeat of history here.
it's so perfection. Like it's
So does Aaron
ridiculous.
Rodgers end up in Minnesota next year?
No, he's going to end up with the Jets.
Not this year.
No.
The next year.
Next year.
No, because
No,
I don't.
Cousins-
The Jets can't
Kirk
trade him
Cousins?
again because when they sent Favre to, because Favre had officially retired. So
Yep.
when they sent Favre to the Jets, he was a free agent after his first year with the Jets, and that's what allowed him
Aaron's
to go.
got 2 more years left.
Aaron's got 2 years and $100 million left. I want him. I mean, he's phenomenal, but it's time to restart and rebuild, and I want to see what we have in Aaron
Was he
or
really
in,
that phenomenal?
in Jordan Love. Who?
Aaron.
He's got 4
He's good.
MVPs. He won
but-
2 of the last 3.
He was still
won
solid.
Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
but we've
But-
already
Yeah.
agreed
He
that
was
the
still
MVP
solid last year.
was a popularity vote.
Yeah,
He's got the
100%.
same amount of
already
Super Bowls
agreed that.
as Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Are we bringing up trash?
You
Trash
put them in the
versus dumpster
same-
juice?
No, Aaron Rodgers is a top 10 quarterback of all time.
I don't see it, but okay.
He's better than Brett Favre. He's better than Dan Marino.
I wouldn't say that.
Why? Because Marino has 0 Super Bowls? And less yards and less touchdowns and more interceptions and less.
NFL.
There's not the NFL that I'm thinking of if I'm picking a quarterback to go against each other.
I take Rodgers over Marino. Same.
No, I'm not thinking about Marino. I'm thinking about Brett Favre. I'd pick Brett Favre. I'm not looking at stats. I'm looking
No.
at quarterbacks that win. And I would pick Brett Favre over Aaron Rodgers. I
don't know
love
if I
Aaron
do that.
Rodgers. I think he's great, but I would pick Brett Favre.
Aaron Rodgers won more games than Brett Favre. Better win percentage.
Gabe is telling you. I don't think Gabe is on your side anymore. He says you shut your mouth, Trevor.
Brett Favre for life. He's on the Favre train.
You're getting me.
I think you've lost a point.
You
mean,
lost
you guys-
the whole
you guys- you
point
guys
with
are-
your fans.
I don't know. When Brett Favre went back to Minnesota, yeah, he wasn't that great, but he still.
Dude, he
showed-
was coming for another one.
Yeah, he was.
They
were that
target
close.
him.
And you know,
Saints targeted him.
and you
I'm
know,
sorry.
and you know why they lost that game, right? Because Brett Favre lost the game for him.
Hold up. Whoa.
He threw the interception.
The game against the Saints?
Yeah.
No, the game against the Saints, they targeted him. They were told to target and hurt him.
That's
that
when
game.
they had that whole
that's what they
scandal
did the whole
going on.
year.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But
Oh, no.
he still played the whole game, and all he
For
had
his
to
last
all,
year?
all
he
he had
played every game, every time.
Yeah.
all he had to
carry
do
his ass
is
down the
all he had to
field
do is not throw the interception in the playoff game, and they win that game.
Yeah, but he leads the league in interceptions. That's just who he is.
Yeah.
Hold
That's
up,
what he does.
I'm not. What happened against the Packers
Gabe
last year?
says
with
Peterson
Aaron
fumbled
Rodgers?
twice.
What's it put y'all out of the playoffs last year?
The team sucked.
There was a particular. No, y'all were in the playoffs last year, divisional round.
San Francisco.
Oh, 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. Last year, not this year. That just passed. The year before.
Oh, okay, yeah,
In San Francisco.
yeah. The team sucked. They had no offense. Yeah.
I thought we were gonna lose, but
That was the ugliest, worst
All
game
right,
in the
guys.
history of the world. But
I'm gonna cut you off here because we still
Oh,
got.
they said Peterson fumbled twice.
We still got a little bit of
That's why
show
Minnesota
left,
lost.
and we still got a
Who said
lot to
that?
go through.
Shut
real
up,
quick,
Gabe.
Real quick, it's my turn. It's my turn. Right now, we're going to do the petty segment. We're going to shift gears. If you haven't noticed, our background is purple, and that is for International Women's Day. Today is International Women's Day. It's been International Women's Day every year this day since 1911. And it is the one day that we get to celebrate women and what their influence and movements have been since we've started this. And so I want to shout out to all the women that have influenced a life, who have raised a life, who have made some change in this world. I want to shout out to you. I don't know if you guys have any shout outs that you guys want to do to any specific women in your life, but I want to shout out to my daughter, both my daughters, my friends that have made a change in me personally, who have influenced me, who the women before me in this world that have made influences and changes in this world to make my life better. Equality basically has changed and evolved, and I think this is a great day to celebrate women. John, do you have any shout outs or anything you want to say?
Go to me first.
Because you're sitting over here.
You know what? I want to shout out to my teachers, my female teachers. There never went too many men teachers back then, but because they help educate me and keep me in line because I wasn't the best person ever. So
Shocking.
Yep.
But teachers.
The teachers. Nick, you got anybody?
I literally just shared my post today about this. My mom, for sure. Beautiful wifey. She may or may not be watching right now. I know she chimed in earlier. My daughters, my 3 daughters, and my sis who's watching. Absolutely. Caroline, Kat. Definitely all influential. I have 4 sisters. Kat's definitely she's the main one who's been like pretty much mom number 2 for me. So, but yeah, women that are all very influential in my life. So
Yeah.
those are my shout outs for sure.
Trevor, anybody?
I didn't know this was gonna come out.
I didn't either.
Question. I just have a question about the day because I didn't research actually what the day. Why is it called internet? Like what's the definition behind international
Because
aspect
it's
of the
everybody.
Women's Day?
It's everybody in the world.
So it's not just
yeah, so
U.S. women. It's all women.
It's all women.
They don't
all
have
women.
to be women that have crossed borders.
No, it's all women across the
So
world.
I don't have any special show.
made
Just all
a change.
A change in what?
Just made a change in society and life in your influence.
Well, obviously a mother in that aspect, yes. But outside of that, I don't think anyone's really changed my life. I meant besides.
I know somebody.
Oh no, who?
Oh, B.
I'm gonna say your daughter has changed your life.
Well, yes, but she's still a child, not a woman.
Changed your life. She influenced.
But
a lot
she's a
on you.
female,
But
and she's changed.
Well,
your
it's not International Females Day. It's International Women's
life.
Day.
Oh my God! And he's on FarmersOnly.com.
Just saying, like I got nothing against.
Oh, that's good.
Like it's international. It's not like International Female Day. I'm not taking shots at my daughter or anything like that.
Yeah, you can find him on
You just did.
FarmersOnly.com.
Luckily, she doesn't watch
No,
this
Olive,
show.
what you got? You got anybody you want to shout out on International Women's Day?
Sure, I'll shout out my mom and my sister and all the women, honestly.
All the women.
All the women, yeah.
Women
Shout
of
out
the
all the
world.
women.
I mean, where would we be without them?
Even the ones who might not be making a change yet, maybe in the future, you know. All the women.
That are impacting our lives.
That cross borders
100%.
in international waters.
So if you were wondering why the background was purple today, that is why. Take a moment and hug a lady in your life. Shout out a lady in your life, a woman. Oh, shout out a woman in your life that has changed your life, who has influenced you in any particular way. Doesn't have to be just a man shouting out women. Women, let's empower each other and shout out to each other. Be influential in this society. That's all we can do is make a change, and change for the better. Change for yourself.
Can I ask a weird question?
No.
Yes.
Can I ask a weird question?
No.
Yes. This is just for you, Julie.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't like where this is
And
going. I might like skip your segment in a second if I don't like your question.
This is just one quick question. It's a yes or no question.
Okay.
So it's International Women's Day.
Okay.
Do you look at Caitlyn Jenner and say Happy International Women's Day to someone like Caitlyn Jenner?
No.
I'm not asking you. You're a guy. I'm asking Julie. This is a serious question. I'm just curious on your thoughts on that realm. I know I'm throwing you under the quick thing because you had no preparation for it, but it just popped in my head. I just intrigued.
You know what?
Intrigued,
Yes.
but yeah.
You know what? Yes. I think that Caitlyn Jenner has empowered other trans persons to be their authentic self, to decide I'm going to do what's comfortable for me. And so I think, yes, she has influenced society and should get some recognition.
Cool.
Because she kind of broke through and said, you know what? I don't care who I was before. I don't care what you think about me. This is who I am. I'm going to be my authentic self. And I appreciate that. It gives women and any person in society the empowerment to be who they are and who they want to be.
Cool. No, I'm cool with whatever. I just wanted to get your opinion on that. I don't have a dog in this fight.
I don't think you liked my answer.
No, I have no issue. I wasn't expecting you on there. Fuck Caitlyn Jenner and her dickless ass. No, it's International Women's Day. Like I respect your opinion. So it is what it is.
Worried about my HR issues?
No, I don't.
You know, if you
I sat in the HR office for like 2 hours.
If you have any
today.
complaints for the complaint department for Trevor, call 1-800. We don't care.
You can find me on Farmers Only too if you want to actually complain.
Look, Olive, you got something?
Oh, I had a question because Trevor was asking you, so I wanted to ask Trevor the same question.
Shit.
You know,
I knew she was gonna come back.
What's your
like
honest
it.
opinion, Trevor?
I meant.
You already know my answer.
Yeah, I know what John would say. I meant, to be honest, if that's what you want to do, you do you. I ain't gonna tell anybody. I ain't gonna hate on anybody for doing anything in their life. She's embraced the community that she's moved in, the area that she's moved into, and I respect that in a person. and I got no hater. I don't understand, so it is what it is. I got nothing to say on this, so I'm just gonna not talk myself into a.
Okay. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna flip it to you.
Oh, hell.
You introduce a numbers.
Oh, shit, we're already on that. I gotta really read the fucking run sheet before we go on
I
here.
think she skipped the combine.
I skipped the combine because nobody watches the fucking combine. Like
John watches the combine.
I mean,
I sure did. I had all. This is all.
No,
combine
he
notes right there.
googled. He googled the cliff notes. Let's be
I
real.
watched that shit.
No,
He
I'm sitting
did
next to him during the
not.
fantasy draft.
No, he did
Exactly.
not. If he did, it was at Applebee's while he was drinking, and he saw a couple people running across the street.
You know who my first pick in the NFL draft next year is?
It's
Anthony Richardson.
It's 9:01. But I want to give. Can we give John like 5 minutes? I want to see what his cliff notes say.
I'm just gonna give you my top
Really,
3 winners
Trevor?
and top
I just want to
3
give 5
losers
minutes
of
because
the
I got one
combine.
thing I gotta look at real quick.
Okay.
It's not gonna be a discussion. John's got that.
You have 5 minutes. You
Okay.
have the floor. You have 5 minutes to discuss a subject that nobody gives a shit about.
You're gonna care next year when your fantasy
I am
football
not going
comes
to care
up.
because, like
She's
you
gonna have
said,
5 quarterbacks.
no. You
Yeah, true.
said it. You said it while we were sitting there drinking our beers. You said nobody gives a shit about the combine. That their combine stats don't matter in the draft. You said that,
I did.
and I have witnesses.
However,
Ray, you on
I
here?
might tell you that.
Ray, you on here? You heard it.
I might tell you that, but when it comes to me drafting my fantasy team, and Anthony Richardson is sitting there in the 7th round,
We
8th round,
draft fantasy after the draft. Like the combine is
No
about
shit.
the draft.
no
Whoa.
I was
shit,
there.
That was aggressive, John.
no shit. That's what I'm saying. As far as quarterbacks go, Anthony Richardson stepped up, led all quarterbacks
Somebody write this down. That
with a
he's saying
40 and a
this.
half inch vertical,
That's all right.
a 10-9 broad jump, and a 4.43 40-yard dash. He has a strong arm, but his accuracy is still a little off.
I know another quarterback like that.
Go ahead.
We'll leave it alone.
Look, I gave him the look.
Sounds like talent, but how is his decision making?
Okay, you said yourself, Tom Brady had the worst combine. But
He had a good Wonderlic
But-
score.
what does he have?
7 Super Bowls.
Exactly. He had the worst combine, so combine doesn't matter.
Brock Purdy was
Combine doesn't
the last
matter.
pick in the
Nobody
NFL
cares.
draft, and he went,
I
what,
care.
6-0?
Raise your hand if you care. And I don't mean
About
in this
Brock
room.
Purdy? Yes, I do.
So you're the only one. You're the only one out.
I care about that Purdy HR. This is my first issue. Purdy motherfucker. I care.
And you know what? This is
I like
That's my
it.
first HR issue.
This is
I
going to
think
be a
cuss
good
all night.
draft. This is going to be a good draft for edge rushers. Because I have Nolan Smith, and I can't even say the other guy's name.
Because you never heard of him before you went on the
Ada
YouTube
Tamamwe.
channel.
Before you got your Google.
Where'd he
your-
go to
your
school,
Cliff
John?
Notes.
Northwestern. He's an edge rusher out of Northwestern.
Okay.
Unless you get another Bosa.
I have witnesses that said you
It don't
didn't
matter.
But the
care.
kid from Penn State's supposed to be really good, too.
Like I said, unless it's Bosa.
Now, the losers in the draft, Kayshawn Boutte. I don't know how you say his name. Wide receiver out of
Booty.
LSU.
Sound like booty. to
Booty.
me.
That's what I
that
thought.
sounds
Booty.
like a booty.
It spells like booty.
He had a
Bote.
29-inch vertical. 29-inch vertical.
say it
What's his
smells or
what
spells?
are his dimensions though?
He's a little guy. He's not as little as Jordan Addison out of USC. 5'11", 173 pounds. He had a 34-inch vertical, but he's the other guy's bigger, and he had a 29-inch
Can
vertical.
I'm gonna say two names real quick at you.
Go ahead.
Julian Edelman
Mhm.
and anybody else that's in the slot. They don't need to fucking jump. Jumping is not
Not for a receiver.
Not-
a possession receiver.
not
Wes
a
Welker.
not a
Linda,
Julian
you were there
Edelman,
too.
Wes
I
Welker,
took them, yeah.
Randall Cobb.
No.
That they're not there for the jumping.
saying.
They're for the possession receiver. They're
40-inch vertical ain't that great.
no, unless you're Randy
this is
Moss.
a 29-inch vertical.
Yeah,
I know, but you
yeah.
said the other one was 40.
That was a
That's-
quarterback.
Yeah.
It still is not great. And
I'm
the
not
quarterbacks
saying-
don't need to jump.
Yeah.
I know, but if you're 11 inches shorter than the quarterback on your jump, then you're
Yeah.
not.
But
My
no,
point
right.
is proven.
Wide receivers do
Combine
need to
is
jump.
But not,
worthless.
You catch the
Hell.
ball at the high point.
Well,
one
depends
out
on the
of
kind of receiver.
one out of 48 throws that are thrown to you.
Would you take a mediocre receiver that has a 45-inch vertical, or would you take a Julian?
Okay,
Edelman
let me
or-
ask you this.
or Welker?
Hold on, you're looking at two quarterbacks or two wide receivers that who was their quarterback?
Who? What the fuck? Are you
Edelman
talking
and Welker.
depending what year.
It doesn't.
I mean,
It
Tom
was
Brady.
Tom Brady.
They each played like
Who
three.
had a bad combine?
They played 3 or 4 years for Tom Brady. That was it.
And that's the only reason they got drafted to another team or traded to another team. Or
But
picked
they
up.
still performed.
Yeah, they
Wes
performed.
Welker did in
Because
Denver.
They
hold on,
they both
didn't-
performed
didn't y'all-
outside
hold on,
of
who's
the
y'all's
Patriots.
guy?
Wes Welker did in
No,
Denver
no,
because
no,
he
no.
had Peyton
Cowboy
Manning.
guy.
Cole
Just-
Beasley. Cole Beasley.
Beasley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beasley same way. And
Was
who,
it-
who was throwing to him?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
The hell
it
if I
don't,
know.
Still,
it don't matter.
Dak-
Hey,
Mac-
look at
Prescott.
Hunter Renfro for the Raiders last year with Derek Carr.
Last year, no, he didn't do shit.
I'm just saying the last 3 or 4 years though.
No, he had
He has
one
been
good year.
proven.
Yeah,
One good year. It was the year before last.
He had more than one good year.
No.
Yeah, he did.
Check his fantasy stats.
You check.
Last year he sucked.
Why
I
the
drafted him and he
Why the
sucked.
fuck are you up Fantasy's ass?
I feel like your 5 minutes is up.
Because I'm gonna lose fantasy because of what happened the year before, and that's some bullshit. But anyway,
I'm gonna look it up real quick because you're up my ass.
Kat will tell you that she won fantasy, or she won
Second
second
place.
in fantasy because of Aaron Rodgers, and she's proud of that fact.
Cat's smart, but Aaron Rodgers may be.
She picked.
It wasn't Aaron Rodgers.
She had the first pick and didn't pick McCaffrey.
No,
I
she
told her
did.
to.
She said
Yeah.
that.
I mean,
She
everyone,
should've. I had McCaffrey.
Everyone put JTT. That
I know, and that's who she picked.
and I say
Jonathan
JT
Taylor? Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I say JTT
Yeah.
for Jonathan Taylor Thomas, but
So in other
he
words,
did
you're
not pan
looking
out.
forward to our fantasy football league next
I am,
season.
But let me. If anybody wants to join in on the NCAA March Madness,
We're
we
going to get to that.
Oh, okay. We're not-
is that how we end in the show? Or come-
Yes,
okay.
we're going to
Oh, I didn't
end
know
the
that.
show
I
with
didn't know that.
NCAA. Calm
It wasn't
down.
on the run sheet.
I haven't
so.
done that in a while.
Calm
but
your
I will do it.
panties.
It's fun. I mean, it's a crapshoot
down.
because it's.
All right,
every
Trevor,
number one
his
team
5
got it.
minutes is up. Your 5 minutes begins now.
I got 5 minutes
with
okay.
this numbers thing.
Yes.
I don't understand what's happening.
So I introduced this last week, and we had
6 comments.
piss
I
poor
didn't understand.
thing. So
Piss poor participation.
participation from
understand
the
the
crowd.
question.
So what I'm doing
What's your
is
favorite number?
no,
Jersey
it's
number.
not. It's not the favorite number. What's the greatest number?
Okay.
There's a
99.
difference. You're doing the movie thing, right?
You said 99. Yes, I
You're
am.
doing the movie thing.
and
so
we're going to break that down next week.
Well, I've already started posting it. So.
this is like a 15 segment thing that we're gonna do that I'm gonna add on to shows throughout the year.
Oh, no, wait. I've got to give you
Ooh.
5 minutes for the next 15 weeks.
Yes, because
Oh, shit.
how many numbers are there?
23. I had to think about it. 23 is the best.
I already said that.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
You're right.
There's no way.
Okay.
Out of
Okay,
six
so-
we're gonna
Hold
gonna.
on,
three of them
time
are
out,
23.
time out, time out.
I'm not obviously.
Trevor,
I'm
explain.
Yeah. So
your
I'm obviously
situation.
not gonna go because in sports you have numbers from 0 to 99, as in jersey
double
numbers,
zero, yes.
representation, stuff like that.
00.
No, just
Zero,
Let's count.
0 and 00 are the same
We'll
fucking
count- we'll-
thing.
we'll put
We're
them
counting the same thing.
You know what?
So-
have another
nobody's
beer
voted
real
for
quick.
Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Ha-
So
have
so
another beer
each
real quick.
each week for the foreseeable future, we're gonna go through. Obviously, 73 is not gonna win against any other number. 64 is not gonna win against any other number. We can all agree across the board.
69.
That's always a good number.
We're going.
no matter what you're doing.
We're strictly
I like
going.
68.
We're strictly going on players that have worn said number for that reason, not for sexual connotations with the number.
But that's
Otherwise-
what we do here.
I know. I sexualize a lot of things and
Yeah, your
everything.
3.5 inches really blew up last week. Okay?
I know, right? Exactly.
Bananas and shit all over our Facebook.
So what I'm going to do each week is I'm going to pit one number against another, and we're going to see in your guys' eyes which number is better.
Okay.
So we're going to start at the beginning today.
Oh,
So I'm going to start with the greatest. So just look at the history of the numbers, and let's say player 1 wore 24 for 14 years of his career, then went to another team
Kobe?
and played. Well, Kobe played half and half his career, so I'm counting him for 2 numbers.
Okay.
But let's say Jordan. I'm not counting Jordan for 45 because he played 18 games
He had
as
one
number
more
45.
too.
And he played 15 for one game.
Was that from the
When someone
they
stole his
lost his
jersey. Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
He had to come out and play 15.
So I'm not counting 15 or 45 towards Jordan. Does that make sense? Across the board here?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So I'm going to pit number 1.
Joe Montana doesn't count for 19.
Right. But Kobe
Chiefs.
But Kobe counts for 8 and 24 because he played
Half and half.
a majority. LeBron will count for 23 and 6 because he played 6 in Miami. He's playing 6 in LA.
23.
Okay, so we're gonna start with 1 versus 6.
The number 1 versus number 6.
Jersey number 1 versus jersey number 6. Off the top of your heads, before I list players that have actually played under these jerseys, I want to see who
automatically
you'd
thinking
pick.
Warren Moon.
That's about the only one. It's number
Warren
6.
Moon for 1. 6.
It's got to be quarterbacks.
I gave you one 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
We have Christian that says
LeBron,
LeBron
for
was 6.
Miami and now for
I'm
LA.
not voting
You
for
want to count
LeBron.
that though for Miami?
Christian said 1.
8 I feel. I don't even feel 8. I feel 23 for LeBron.
20.
I don't even know if I even
Yeah.
count because he wasn't there long enough. It's almost like
He has a third of his career as number 6.
I'm going number 1.
I'll
then.
go. I'll let it go.
I'm going number 1. then.
1 is Warren Moon.
And he's got half of his championships as number 6. He's got 3/4 of his championships as number 6.
3 of them?
3 of the 4 championships for
2 in Miami and 1
So
in LA.
we have a vote online. Gabe says Jay Cutler, number 6.
That's for you.
Jay Cutler, number 6. I like that. Okay.
That's for you.
So 1 versus 6.
I'm not even pulling. No. I'm
One
going
for
number
1 for 6 before I list some of the top
right,
players in these
69
positions.
is not on the table right now, so stop it.
John, which one are you going for?
1.
1. Do you have a dog in this fight?
I don't understand the game.
Greatest player.
I don't know.
Okay.
Rock the numbers.
Yeah, to rock the
I'm
numbers.
just going to read the Facebook comments.
Gotcha.
You leave me out of it.
Before I list some players that I
I'm
found
gonna
the
just say
greatest.
some
Just
bullshit.
between the two.
Off the top of your head, yeah.
Off the top of my head, I'm going with 6 just because LeBron. If you're
Okay.
counting LeBron,
Yeah. Okay.
I'll give it to him.
That's why I'm not going.
And you
number
said
6.
1?
Yes.
So I went
And I
through.
would agree with you for
I
that.
picked the biggest number 1. So you got Oscar Robertson
Damn
for
right.
NBA, number 1.
Triple-double leader.
Warren Moon for number 1.
He was.
Ozzie Smith for number 1.
There you go.
Okay.
See?
Cam Newton number 1.
Eh.
Penny Hardaway number
There
1.
you go.
Oh yeah.
Tracy McGrady number 1.
Ooh.
And Devin Booker currently number 1.
Okay.
Number 6, Julius Irving.
Ooh, Dr. J.
I'll pick 6.
LeBron James for 6 years.
I'm done.
And then baseball, you got Stan Musial, Al Kaline,
What
all-time
about Derrick
greats.
Rose?
Derrick Rose
Derrick
was
Rose
not number
one.
6. He was
So he was a
number
number
1.
not for
Chicago.
for Chicago for part of it, but that's only like 4 years.
But Chicago is where everybody knows him from.
For 1 year.
People relate him to Chicago.
Jay Cutler
I
and
know
Baker
him.
Mayfield for number 6.
Ooh, I missed out on Baker. Sorry, Baker. I'm going number 1 still.
I'm not even going with Baker just because of the whole fact that the possibility of him trying to come to the Niners.
So
No.
after seeing the names, 1 versus 6.
I'll become a Niners fan.
Julie, after seeing those names that I listed, 1 versus 6.
Don't do it.
You don't care.
1.
1 for John. You still staying with
fucks
6?
given.
I'm sticking with 6 because
Son of a
Julius
bitch.
Erving.
So since
Oscar
Julie's not,
Robertson.
I have to be the decider, and I'm gonna go with 1 wins the battle due to Oscar.
You're damn right. Oscar
I
Robertson.
think it's your game, so you can't be the decider.
Well, you didn't decide. You
Okay, then I'm gonna go number 6.
What the hell? No,
All right.
hold on. Now we're still tied. Okay.
number
Yeah.
6. No, I'm out because I decided. Number 6.
He can't decide.
Number
Could
6
still be
He can't
decides.
decide because it's his game.
All right.
You're gonna pick LeBron?
No,
So-
I'm gonna pick Baker
It's
Mayfield.
not
All right,
about. It's
so
not about, yeah, it's
we're
not
gonna go
about-
greatest number 2 versus number 5.
Do you count college?
No,
Okay. This is
professional. Yeah,
okay.
number 2 versus number 5. That's a lot of research. Just fucking search all that.
2 versus 5.
Yes.
I'm gonna listen to the names and
The
then
only
I'll
5 I
decide.
know is freaking Heath Schuler.
I don't know.
I know. Wait till you hear the. I was confused
Well,
at
give us
first,
the
but
names. 'cause
all right.
this is-
So number 2, Kyrie Irving,
Oh,
Nope.
fuck 2.
Derek Fisher,
Fuck 2.
Kawhi Leonard,
Still fuck 2.
Larry Johnson, Matt Ryan, Xander Bogaerts,
5
and
by
Derek
default.
Jeter.
I'm going 5 by default.
And Derek Jeter.
That's David's pick.
Number 5, which you only thought of Heath Schuler, right?
That's all I had.
Did you have a number 5, John?
Paul Hornick.
That's
Did you have a number 5?
List.
Don't read the comments. I want to know if you have a number 5.
No, I don't have a
That's
2 or a
my
5.
job.
All right,
Why
number
are you
5.
doing my job? Stop doing my job.
Number 5, Albert Pujols,
Oh, yep, I'm there.
George Brett,
Yep.
Jeff Bagwell, Joe DiMaggio,
Yes,
Brooks
yes.
Robertson,
Yes.
Johnny Bench, Donovan McNabb, Joe Flacco, Jason Kidd.
I'm going just
You
for
lost
Joe Flacco.
me with Flacco.
I'm going just for
But
Flacco.
I'm going with 5.
And then Jason Kidd, too.
You got 5.
Yeah,
I got 5.
5 wins,
picking
Julie.
2.
I go 5.
All right. And then the last round for this first round
Pujols.
is number 3 versus number 4.
I wore number 3, so I'm going 3.
Brett Favre was number 4.
That's the first thing I thought about.
Yeah, I might have to lean towards 4.
Give us the names.
We see it in baseball too. I'm gonna go 4.
You know, we got 2 4s
Right
before
now,
before the
list
names.
players.
So we're gonna go 4. I picked the greatest 4s: Joe Dumars,
Okay.
Brett
Pistons.
Favre, Derek Carr, Dakota Rain Prescott,
That's why I picked number 3.
Jason Hansen, Adam Vinatieri, 2 of the greatest kickers of all time in the NFL. Lou Gehrig.
No, Jason Elam's and Justin Tucker. But
Jason Hansen, where did he play for?
Detroit.
Very good. Lou Gehrig, Mel Ott, and Paul Molitor for baseball.
Those are your 3s?
Those are
No,
4s.
those are
Those are
fours.
4s.
Oh, I picked 4, yeah.
So 3, Babe Ruth.
Oh.
A-Rod for
Fuck A-Rod.
majority of his career. Jimmy Fox.
Jamie Foxx. He played for who?
Jimmy Fox. Jimmy.
Any given Sunday?
Drink another one.
Hiram Killebrew for baseball, old school. And then football, you got Russ Wilson, number 3.
Yeah, I'm still good.
Basketball, you got Bradley Beal, Allen Iverson, Stephon Marbury, C.J. McCollum, CP3, and D. Wade for number 3.
Ooh.
Because I wore number 3, I'm going number 3, but I want this to.
Babe Ruth and
I
the
want the
basketball players.
reflect.
Yeah.
I want it
So
to
good.
reflect that I'm not going number 3 because of Russell Wilson. He's still trash.
I'm still going 4.
I'm 3.
I like George Brett.
George Brett was number 5.
Babe Ruth
but
and all the
So
basketball.
number
So
3
we're on the
won
wrong
because
one.
Number
we
3
both,
wins.
Yeah, number 3 wins.
Damn
so in the first one, we had 3, 5, and
somebody
6.
agree with me. They said fuck A-Rod.
A-Rod only played. He was.
fucked
He
up
was.
That was
Franchise.
Steve
he was.
that says fuck it.
He was in the
Yeah, he
LeBron
screwed our
category of it.
franchise
Like
all to hell.
A-Rod only played a third of his career as number 3, but that was enough to qualify him due to
Is that as far as we're
accomplishments.
going? You're not doing number 7?
I'm only doing a partial.
Partial. We're going to do whatever.
Because
he
number
It's,
says.
it's
seven's
going to
gonna
break
win.
down.
He thinks
I'll
that
be
I'm
in
gonna
for these
give.
votes. I
He
gotta hear
thinks
these,
that I'm
man.
going to give him 5 minutes every episode.
I just need to hear who
we'll
number
see.
7's going up against. Just tell me that.
I haven't gotten that far
He
yet.
hasn't gotten that
I
far.
haven't gotten that far yet. I have limited time to sit down and go through all this.
And I
shit.
gave him more than 5 minutes. So
But number
And I took more
number
than 5
7's gonna
minutes.
win.
I
Yeah.
know.
It's John Elway.
I drug it out.
Frey says, "Yeah, fuck A-Rod."
John Elway.
All right, moving on. We did have baseball going on.
This is what I
we
really
have
wanna talk
spring
about.
training going
Fuck
on.
spring training.
The World Baseball Classic?
Oh, so excited.
Yeah, so let's talk about the World Baseball Classic. Trevor, fill us in on
So
your
excited
take.
for the World Baseball Classic. Is the greatest thing to happen since baseball in a few years. It's like the Olympics of baseball, basically. It's the greatest of the U.S. versus the greatest of Taiwan, China, Dominican Republic, Cuba, all
Who's the
that mess.
shortstop for the
Oh,
American
it's
team?
Champions League.
Yeah,
Who's
it's,
the short-
it's basically the Olympics.
Without
Of,
the
yeah,
US.
yeah.
In the starting
Yeah.
lineup, who's our shortstop?
Hold on, I gotta find it here.
Oh, I already got it. No, you're supposed to know this.
So this is a new thing.
It's Trey.
It happens every couple of years.
It's Trey Turner.
Yeah, fuck Trey Turner.
Trey Turner is the shortstop.
Yeah. So it actually today. The first round of games started today for
Okay.
World Baseball Classic. So it's basically set up like the World Cup. They have 4 pools. They do round robin in the pools, and then they move on, and it's single elimination from there.
So do you think we can beat the Dominican Republic? That's our first matchup.
Well, they're
So I have a question.
shoot.
Because I don't know much about the World Baseball Classic. So players that are actually playing in America right now, who
Shohei's playing for Japan.
I'll say okay. So yeah,
Julio
so
Rodriguez is
identify
playing for the
with a
Yeah,
different.
they play for their home country.
Okay, so it's like
Like Luca played for Slovenia in
like
the Olympics.
they
for basketball.
go to their
Yeah.
separate
Dirk used to go
teams,
to
you know,
Germany.
their separate countries. Okay, all right, now it makes sense. Okay.
So there are 4 initial pools of 4 teams each. So it's a 16-team league.
Okay.
So the U.S. has got Canada, Colombia, or it's a 20-team. There's 5, sorry.
Hold on, time out. I wanna
20 countries in this.
We've got some beef going on in the chat room, and I need you guys to behave. Okay? Go ahead.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, in the chat room. I thought
Yeah.
they were bringing beef
They're-
towards
they
us.
they got beef in the chat room right now, and I need y'all to behave.
Why? Because we said fuck A-Rod.
No, yeah, no. Go ahead, go. I'm sorry.
So
I'm
there's
behaving. I'm
There's
simmering
4
down.
pools,
Fuck
and it's
A-Rod.
basically this is split between Japan and the U.S. where the games are being played, which is fucking travel
Ohtani's
nightmare.
playing-
That's
O-
travel nightmare.
Otani's playing for Japan.
You Darvish is playing
Okay.
for Japan.
Who else is playing for Japan? In our
I have rosters here. Hold on. Let me click on the right tab. I apologize. I don't have every roster.
No,
in
I'm
front of
throwing
me.
you off, and it's just because I have lots of questions.
No, you're
'cause
good.
I'm not used to the World Baseball
It
Classic.
only happens every few years, so
Okay.
Mike Trout's in it, by the way.
yeah.
He's playing center field for the U.S.
Well, I'm U.S. All the way.
I just thought I'd let you know.
Oh, thank you.
And Manny Machado's playing for the DR.
Oh, fuck Manny Machado.
Yeah, I figured. I was just throwing some stuff out there.
So
for
people you may know on that, Japan is known for their pitching. Japan's gonna win or die with Yu Darvish and Shohei. Two-way player Shohei, catcher. Yeah, you're not gonna know any
of the rest of them.
Much
So the
outside
other
of
two,
the
yeah.
You're
Okay.
gonna know the
Ichiro's
pitch-
not playing?
No, he's 50.
I know. So he can still play. He probably
So
still hit
Japan
the ball.
is gonna win or die by the pitching aspect of their roster.
Right.
The U.S. is gonna win or die by the hitting aspect of their roster. Dominican is gonna be hitting.
Home run power.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
I
gonna
mean,
be.
They got Juan Soto, Julio Rodriguez, Manny Machado, Rafael
I think
Devers.
basically those three teams we just brought up are gonna be. It's gonna be one of those three.
Okay.
But what's interesting to me is because baseball is like basketball. When you get to the playoffs, you have the series, right? It's best of 3, best of 5, College World Series, best of 3, best of 5. So this format brings in the World Cup format where you get through group play, the best advance, and it's a one game. You move on.
That's it.
That's it. That's all there is. Which
Who's
is
pitching for America? Because I don't have.
That's
Who's
decent
pit-
if they have
yeah.
time between.
They
because
do
of
because
the
of
pitchers.
the traveling
and the
aspect,
traveling.
Yeah.
Okay, then
so
that's
when
good.
when you
That'd be
move
good.
on to the
Yeah.
the
Final.
win or go home play, it's
Yeah.
going to be Shohei pitch one day, Yu Darvish pitch
Yeah,
the next
right.
game, Shohei pitch the next game.
Yeah, because
Stuff
you
like
got
that.
like a 2 to 3 game in between.
The only issue with this is these players aren't 100% ready for this.
No, they
because
just started
they
spring
just
training.
started training for it and stuff like that. So you're going to see issues with that.
So is this an opportunity for players who don't actually play in the MLB right now to really showcase
Absolutely.
what they have?
It's the same thing with the World Cup.
Like it's
Mhm.
it's almost like I'm gonna just
A little bit, yeah.
stretch out on a limb here. It's almost like the combine for the NFL. It's like letting these players that don't play really show the coaches and managers, or the coaches
Scouts.
and managers, scouts and managers, what they can really do.
Yeah. A lot of it is that way, yes. But the U.S. Sorry, John. Yeah. You're going to see. I meant, honestly, the headline to this article for the U.S., let's say, is. Where the fuck did it go?
Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, and Pete Alonso.
It's like the U.S. has like 24 All-Stars and like all this and that.
Yeah.
So it's Dominican All-Stars versus U.S. All-Stars, which is the baseball pipeline. It is.
How
It's-
many from each progress to the tournament? From each, because you said it's
Pool.
4, right?
From
There's
each
four.
pool.
There's 4 pools, 5 teams.
Right. So how many go to the tournament? bracket?
Off of that, I actually haven't divulged that much into that. It's just starting today, so I'm just starting to track it and stuff like
Do you
that.
know
I
how
didn't-
many? How many?
I think it's 2 out of each league.
It's probably 2, and then the
Yeah.
best
the best plays.
third
Yeah.
of 2 or something or whatever.
Yeah, they're
Probably.
gonna pull them through. But yeah, there's a scenario where like they'll play in like Tokyo, and then they gotta travel back to the U.S. and play in like 2 days, which is fucking nuts. But I'm just excited because it's a new spin on baseball. Baseball's it's a marathon. It's like we said with basketball. But fucking baseball's back. We talked about the new rules last week or the week before, speeding up the game, adding a little intensity to it. So I've always been a baseball guy, even though the Rangers
You don't have to
Are-
trash talk the
are
Rangers.
the,
It's cool.
are,
We
are
know
the
we're
team
trash.
here.
It's
So
okay.
that's why I'm wearing
It's
a
coming
Miami.
back.
We know we're
coming
trash.
back.
I'm
It's got an
wearing-
indoor
I'm-
stadium
I'm-
now. It's coming back.
I'm wearing a Miami Marlins hat, even though I don't even cheer for the Marlins. I just
Trevor's just a
baseball's-
fan of baseball.
I'm
Don't
just a
worry
fan
about
of
the
baseball.
Rangers,
Yeah.
bro. We got Jacob DeGrom
Yeah.
and
Well,
Martin Perez.
We are really, really close for time, so I want to get your final thoughts for tonight. I'm going to go to John first. We're just going to go kind of around the table. What are your final thoughts over the entire conversation tonight? John?
My final thoughts. We didn't even get to my favorite part,
Which was?
the NCAA tournament.
Oh.
There's nothing to talk about for the fall
No,
till
I
next
just wanted
week.
to talk
I'm going to
about it.
plug it in a minute.
Okay,
Can I do my job?
No, it was a great show. I had a lot of fun. I'm glad you came out, Nick. It was
Hey,
a lot
it's
of fun.
fun.
Good conversation. Trevor's still a douchebag, so we're good.
That's a given across the board.
We're good. We're good.
All right. Nick, we want to thank you so much for coming out tonight.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
We thank you for being a part of the conversation and for putting up with these two, princesses. You know.
Again.
So what do you have any final thoughts for tonight? Anything
it's
that
fun.
you just had fun with?
No, it's fun. It's just like us sitting at the bar, just having talk. I mean, that's what we usually do. I mean, we'll sit and
Right, it's the same
just
concept,
bullshit
right?
and just talk sports, and we'll see something on TV and we'll talk about it. Bet on horse races,
Right.
Or dogs jumping in the water.
whatever. Just whatever. So I mean, it's literally just the only thing is missing is Linda up here serving some drinks.
Right?
Right.
We have to serve ourselves.
Right, we have to serve.
Linda, you're not getting
ourselves.
tipped tonight. No.
Right?
But yeah, I had a good time. It was good talk. I mean, I was wondering because I was like, it's out of football season, which is where we usually do a lot of our talking. So what are we going to talk about? There's a lot of comfortable conversation, so it was good.
Good. Well, we hope you come back and join us.
Let me
We
know.
really do appreciate you coming out
Absolutely.
and helping us out tonight. Trevor, final thoughts.
Do
Do you want to plug your farmersonly.com profile?
not tonight.
That picture's still on Facebook.
I know. I see that shit all the time. I want to plug Lambjack as a nickname that is actually recognized
No.
in the world.
No.
I've had confirmation from
Hashtag.
multiple sources today.
That's only because you work with the guy.
Who?
You talking about Steve?
Steve.
No,
Isn't he the one that
Steve
said he
wasn't
recognized
the one.
it?
No. I think it was Christian.
Oh.
Yeah.
Either
I
way
don't
you
know.
slice
Still
it,
friends of yours.
Lambjack is the 7th best running back in the league. Lambjack got some money. He's the highest paid running back in the league. I'll say that. But
he is
no,
the highest paid running back.
Lambjack for a nickname. I like to start trends of nicknames.
I like Ferguson.
Get the fuck out of here.
You're gonna hate on it, but it's okay. It's already catching on.
What's his first name?
Who?
Ferguson.
Well, you got Ferguson and Hendershot. I don't need their first names. Who gives a shit? That's not on their
They're
jersey.
Cowboys, so he doesn't
He
give a
don't
shit.
even know. Yeah. At
You
least
don't see Dak's name on the back of his jersey. It's
yes,
Prescott.
you do. What's Dak's first name?
I don't know.
But
Dakota?
nobody, I think where I know where he's going. Like nobody refers to him as Prescott. They refer to him as Dak.
Yes.
Whereas these two tight ends that he's referring to, he's referring to them by their last name, not their first
I understand
name.
John likes multiple tight ends in his
I don't-
face.
I don't know. I'm over it. I'm over all of you guys. Little Olive, you got any final thoughts for us tonight? Any fact checking you did for us?
Trevor's on
Sorry,
point.
I trusted you guys tonight.
You trusted Trevor?
I trusted you all, and
She refused to actually say she trusted me. She just said she trusted you all.
I just I trust you all as a group. You guys check Trevor, and then I trust you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we thank you for being on the ones and twos tonight. So my final thoughts, just want to give a shout out to everybody that actually watched tonight. We really do appreciate your interaction, your love that you show for this show. If you are not, if you are watching in because Nick invited you, we really do appreciate it. Go to our Facebook page at 12 Pack Media. Look for that logo that you see behind me, and follow us, and then you will get our future episodes. Also, if you are not on Facebook and you are on rather watch us on YouTube, you can go to YouTube and search 12 Pack Media 14 and subscribe to us. We really do want to boost those subscriptions on our YouTube channel. You know why. And so we really do appreciate that. Coming up in the next couple weeks, we do have Selection Sunday coming up on Sunday, this Sunday, correct?
Yes, it happens on Sunday.
Yes, this
All the
Sunday,
tournaments
March
started.
12th, is the NCAA Selection Sunday. I think the tournament actually starts next Thursday. So
The good games, not the
play-ins start like
play-in. Fuck,
Tuesday.
fuck
So yeah, the
play-ins.
plans. We will break down that next week. That is on the top of our list. We will be doing an NCAA bracket challenge for the actual show for a 12-pack. If you are interested in that, we are actually going to give away a 12-pack of beer to the winner of that bracket.
And a hand job from John.
It's going to be, I believe, through...
I don't know yet.
You're going to have to clear
He
that through
doesn't know
him.
yet. He's not sure.
Just send me your email address.
You're going to have to clear that through
I
him.
was trying to get somebody to bring a 12-pack of Prime.
No,
I
Prime
ca-
doesn't. Prime does not.
Neither
They
does
do not
beer.
sponsor.
Beer don't sponsor us
They
either.
don't sponsor us, so no, we're not giving
I know
it
somebody
away.
that can bring a 12-pack of Prime
Anyways,
as well.
And goat fuel.
If you are interested
Yeah.
in joining our NCAA bracket, please DM me or get on our Facebook page. I'm actually going to have a link on our Facebook page if you're interested in that.
And then we'll get you in on that, and we'll keep track of it. So no fee is required for that NCAA bracket, but we will be doing a free 12-pack of beer and a possible guest spot here on 12-pack to talk about your bracket and anything else that we have coming up.
Definitely.
But look forward to next week. We really do appreciate everybody watching tonight.
If I win the bracket, do I still get a 12-pack of beer for free?
No, the people on the show, the panel on the show does not get to win. So if the people here
Second place gets
win, then the second place wins it.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Hey, if we go 1, 2, 3, then fourth place gets it.
I still think I should get a free.
Play my outro music. I'm just done with these guys. They are out of control. Thank you guys. We love you. We'll see you next week. Peace out.
Take note.